Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Pirate Stadium here in Longview, home of the Pine Tree Pirates for Jacksonville's Week 4 contest in the 2022 season. Aaron Swink, Todd Travis, Ryan Travis with you in the booth, and of course, as always, down on the field, color man extraordinaire, the man in the hat, Matt Montgomery. And Matt, something's got to give tonight. Both these teams come into this ball game 0-3.
Yeah, and you have two teams that really improved last week. Jacksonville had a heck of a game. Crandall coming in the game at 2-0. They were a 39-point favorite over Jacksonville last week, and of course the final was 42-37. Crandall got the win. But hey, Jacksonville was all in that game. A couple of things happened a little bit different in that fourth quarter. Jacksonville comes away with a win. Pine Tree, on the other hand, played Kilgore, a top 10 preseason team in Class 4A Division I. Pine Tree lost 20-14. And so a lot of people in Longview and Jacksonville both feel like both teams turned the corner last week and played pretty good ball games against some quality opponents.
Yeah, Matt, I know we talk a lot about there not being moral victories in sports, but it was hard not to feel like that loss to Crandall for Jacksonville was an extreme positive that almost, dare I say it, almost felt like a win.
And that's kind of where you know where Jacksonville's program is right now, because the previous week was a blowout against their rival White House. Everybody was down. Daubers were down. It was just a tough week. And for Jacksonville to come back and play a Crandall team that was way more favored over Jacksonville than White House was, man, people were expecting a blowout. And you're right, Aaron. It was a very promising outing for Jacksonville statistically. Statistics, they say, are for losers, but statistically, Jacksonville outgained Crandall. They had time of possession better, but that one boogaboo, they still had more turnovers than Crandall. That's something right now, Jacksonville at -6 coming into this ball game in week 4 on turnovers. They got to get better at that, because that's really changed. That's changed the direction of at least 2 of the 3 games Jacksonville's played of those turnovers.
Yeah, Matt, you talk about statistics, and yeah, I mean, I guess when you're looking for sort of that moral victory, maybe you do spend a little bit more time on the statistics. But hey, last week's matchup or statistic breakdown, I should say, was a little bit more on the balanced side for Jacksonville, which is something that Coach Jason Holman has been wanting to do this season, as Jacksonville racked up 190 yards on the ground and 215 yards through the air.
Yeah.
I mean, given the fact that I think before last week you didn't have a Jacksonville running back, especially the rushing stats, what really stands out to me is I don't think you had a running back go for over 50 yards in a ball game.
No, Joellen Kennedy had 92 yards last week, and he had some good runs. He ripped off a 31-yarder, and that you're right. I mean, that had that kind of a balanced attack. That's what head coach Jason Holman for Jacksonville is looking for. He's wanting a more balanced attack. You don't want to have to come out like we talked about against Sulphur and White House when you have those 3rd and 14s and 3rd and 11s, 2nd and 16. You got to get out of that. I mean, you got to get more yards on first down, and I think last week Jacksonville showed they can do that. Of course, the beast package that Jacksonville has scored on several times already in 2022. That was a big part of it. I mean, they got some crucial first downs. They had a couple of 4th down conversions, and that's exactly what you want to see. Hey, this part of our countdown to kickoff is brought to you by Texas Farm Bureau agent Micah Hoffpower. Call Micah for all your life insurance, homeowners insurance, and auto insurance needs. Micah Hoffpower is your guy. Does a great job for Texas Farm Bureau. We appreciate Micah sponsoring this part of our countdown to kickoff. Aaron, it's a little warmer down here than it was last week. We've had some really nice, cool 60, 65-degree mornings, but it's a little bit muggy down here at Pine Tree Stadium. On the turf, there's not a lot of wind. This is kind of a bowl effect here.
Yeah, I was going to say this particular stadium, and it's a beautiful remodel that hasn't been here all that long. But just where it sits, it does sort of sit down almost feel like you're sitting down in a hole a little bit.
And it's a beautiful facility as far as they get a lot of playoff games here. just like Tomato Bowl has been getting since the remodel, and it's just a fabulous place to play football. I know that from your vantage point, from where you guys are, what a view, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's beautiful. Hey, this is the 36th meeting all-time between Jacksonville and Pine Tree. Jacksonville leads the all-time series with 21 wins. Pine Tree's won 14 of them. These teams played for the first time in 1954. Pine Tree has won 3 in a row. Previous to that, Jacksonville had won 3 in a row. So it's been kind of balanced for the last several years under the tutelage of Wayne Coleman. And but again, as you said, both teams coming in at 0-3. Pine Tree lost their first game to Van 28-14, and then they got rocked by one of Jacksonville's district opponents, Lindale, by a score of 40-17. And of course, last week Pine Tree played some pretty good defense, shutting down a very potent offense of Kilgore. They didn't get the win, but it's 20-14. So again, these are two teams we talked about. Maybe they've turned the corner. You know, it's you never know with 0-3 teams. Are you going to get the team that lost a couple of weeks ago to White House, or you're going to get the team that played so well last week against Crandall? That's what's going to be the interesting thing tonight. Hey, both head coaches are named Jason. Jason Holman of Jacksonville, Jason Bachman of Pine Tree, and they're both in their first year at their respective schools. Bachman, of course, was promoted after Kerry Lane went back to Gilmer. He was AD here for a few months, and then he went to Gilmer. So you got two first-year coaches at their respective schools. So, again, you know, Pine Tree is a team that's trying to find, just like you heard Jason Holman talk about last week, and you'll hear him talk about it in Smoke Signals. They're trying to find their identity. I mean, Pine Tree's only averaging 15 points a game through 3 ball games. Jacksonville, a little bit better at 21 points a game. But, both teams just still trying to get used to their coaching staffs and figuring out what all the different combinations. And Jason Holman said we'll see even more different combinations for Jacksonville tonight. Jacksonville will be missing DeVarian Boyd tonight. He's out due to injury. So there's a spot right there. And so, you know, that you got to kind of work around because he's part of the Beast package. He should be back next week. But as the season goes on and this Jacksonville offense gets more comfortable with offensive coordinator Jason McClendon and putting all the little different wrinkles in, we're moving toward that point where next week district starts at Tomato Bowl, Aaron. Athens is coming to town. So you really want to get all your cards on the table and make sure you're operating on all cylinders.
Yeah, you absolutely do, Matt. And we definitely saw the Indians take a step in that direction last week as we saw some things from this offense that we knew they'd been working on in practice, but maybe they just were getting to the point where they're getting a little bit more comfortable, as you said, with each other, with the coaching staff, with the schemes. And it was a lot of fun to watch. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what else Jason McClendon and the Indians can roll into the offense tonight. As you said, I mean, we're right here. We've been used to in the district the last 10 years or so almost, I think it seems like, playing your non-district ball games and then having that bye week.
Yeah.
But like you said, we're rolling right into district ball next week, and then Jacksonville has the very, very strange October bye week. So it's right in
week 8 or something.
Yeah, it's
like
week
that?
8. So right into it though next week. So it'll be interesting to see how the Indians take the final few steps in the tune-up because, next week the games count.
You know, defensively, Aaron, I think that's going to be a key for Jacksonville. There's some pretty good players on that Pine Tree side of the ball we'll talk about in a minute. But last week, what can you say? I mean, Jacksonville played lights out in that second half. They, of course, got the opening kickoff to start the second half, and they were able to go down and score, which is exactly, why you defer and take that kickoff and take that ball in the second half so you can get that opportunity to change it. They did that. And then what does the defense do? They come out and they get a 3 and out. And they outscored Crandall 10-0, unanswered points, did Jacksonville. But, I mean, it starts up front. I mean, senior Caden Franklin had a great game, a tremendous game. Raphael Foy got his first start, as did Dominique Bowens on that defensive line. They just did a great job.
Yeah, and we'll look for the Indian defense to just continue as well. You talk about just the progress that they made last week, and we've already mentioned it once in the show here tonight, Matt, and we know it's cliche, but the turnover battle is huge, and it did end up keeping the Indians keeping them from being able to get over the hurdle against Crandall last week. But if the defense can continue to improve, maybe Jacksonville steals a few possessions and turns this ball game in the right direction.
Well, what's really improved for Jacksonville defensively is tackling. I saw last week, especially in the second half, they took better angles, they wrapped up, they got help. One guy would get there and make initial contact, and then they'd wrap up really well. Because those were two really good running backs for Crandall, and they're going to have to do that again tonight because number 2, Cale Skinner, is a quality runner for Pine Tree. Actually, I think he's playing quarterback. Let me see here. There's not many stats available for Pine Tree. I looked on several places, and I only had one game where I was able to find any kind of stats. So actually, it's number 2. It's Jalen Robinson, number 4. He's the scat back running back. He's kind of a Jawalen Kennedy type runner. If he gets in the open field, he's gone. I mean, he had a big, huge long run last week against Kilgore, so I ''got to watch for him. On the defensive side of the ball, Pine Tree is anchored by A&M commit Dalen Evans, a 3-year starter. He's 6'4", 260, and when he gets his hands on you, there's not much you can do. So he's the guy that Jacksonville is going to. He has his hand on the ground. He's a defensive end. He's not a stand-up guy, so he's the guy that's just going to try to blow into the offensive tackle. So Jacksonville's offensive line is going to have their hands, their work cut out, I should say, for them tonight because he's a good one. So, but hey, this Jacksonville offensive line, I got to give them credit. They are really starting to gel, and that's evidenced by that 190 yards rushing last week by Jacksonville. Clearly, their biggest rushing effort, I think, in 2 years, Aaron. I don't think Jacksonville got 190 yards rushing in a game last year, but Alexis Martinez, Blake Causey, Hagan Ray, Josue Gayton, DeAndre Dials, they just keep getting better and better and better as a unit each week.
Yeah, and they did a great job up front, and then in talking about the passing game, they gave Ryan McCowan more time to throw the ball, but Ryan also did a good job of moving the pocket last week.
He really did, and of course, offensive coordinator Jason McClendon has kind of changed a few things. He's moving the pocket a little bit, but you're right, Aaron, on the times that Ryan needed to move the pocket and step up and make that throw, he did. He had some just beautiful throws. That touchdown to Devin McEwen in the corner on the Dairy Queen in a Tomato Bowl, the south end, as we call it, was just absolutely beautiful. Ryan clearly had his best game last week, as did a lot of players for Jacksonville, and that's why they played a really good Crandall team that close. They're going to need that kind of effort tonight, and boy, you really want to get this win if you're Jacksonville to be able to go into Tomato Bowl next week with some momentum as the Athens Hornets come to town. And it's been a long time since Jacksonville's played in Athens, so you want to welcome them in and get a win.
Yeah, you absolutely do, and we'll bring it up back into the booth, Matt. We'll hear from head coach Jason Holman about how the Indians plan to do that on this week's edition of Smoke Signals. Smoke Signals is brought to you by All Smiles Dentistry. That's Dr. Larry Folden, Dr. Brad Westbrook, and Dr. Charlie Stocks. We'd like to thank them for sponsoring all our conversations with head coach Jason Holman all season long. And now, Smoke Signals.
Dr. Folden, Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-07.
Welcome to Smoke Signals, everyone. I'm Matt Montgomery, along with head football coach Jason Holman. Jacksonville, a tough one last week at home. Coach, the Crandall came in heavy favorites, and your team played a heck of a ball game. Your overall impressions?
Well, obviously we're very, very pleased with the effort, particularly in the second half. To be down like we were, which we kind of put ourselves in a hole to start the game, and we've got to rectify that. But to be down like we were in the fight back and to be in a position to win it, and really came down to them having to run the clock out for us, not to get possession and try to win the game. I was very proud of our effort.
You took a couple of steps back against White House in week 2, and then you took 2 steps forward last week. I know you didn't get the win, but this is a good Crandall football team. I mean, they had the Oklahoma committed linebacker. They had 2 solid running backs, a good quarterback. There was a point where you were about to go down 35-7, and the big turnaround when you got that score to end the half to make it 28-14. It's kind of like the light bulb went off or something.
Yeah, like I said, we dug ourselves a hole early. But, yeah, the score right before the half was huge. We talked about it at halftime. At this point forward, it's just let's do what we got to do. We knew we were receiving the ball the second half. Let's do what we got to do to work our way back into the football game, focus on one play at a time, and just execution and fight back and let's get in it. And we were able to do that. And that was a good sign.
Yeah, when you come out in the second half, and that's why you defer sometimes, and you had that momentum after scoring at the end of the first half, and 10 unanswered points, including the field goal by Jesus Nunez. And then you just kept hanging around and had a chance to win it. You got to feel good about not just the effort, Coach, but there was a lot of execution, which we'll see here in a moment on some of the highlights where some of the players really stepped it up.
Yeah, we felt the energy rise. We felt the mojo kick in.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, really for the longest span of time that we've had it this year, you could see in the kids' eyes we really believed we were going to be able to fight back and get the win. And it hurt not to do so, but it was great to see that spark. And I told the team before the football games, was still at this point we really don't know who we are. Let's find out who we are. And we found out a little bit about ourselves on Friday night for sure.
Last thing before we go to the highlights, what I noticed was the hurt look after the ball game by not getting the win. I didn't see that look after the White House game.
Right.
It's kind of like the kids just kind of turned the corner there as far as feeling that disappointment of not winning the game.
Well, I think that, like I said, they felt like we had it and it was within our grasp and we just fell short. So, yeah, it hurts, and it should. Every loss should hurt to some degree, certainly. But to be that close and be within position and just have that feeling that you can do this and then have it taken away from you is, always painful to deal with. But, it's just something we got to get over.
Well, there's certainly a lot of highlights in the ballgame. Let's take a look at those, Jacksonville and Crandall. Here's McCown to Taylor.
Good throw, good catch, good route. Got able to get into the end zone there.
Coach, coming up on the Wildcat right here with Devin taking this is really starting to be a weapon for y'all, this formation.
Yeah, it's something, we're able to add as the season goes on, add to it. And, of course, Devin can do some good things, magical things with the ball in his hand.
And how about the senior, Joellen Kennedy, on this 31-yard run coming up right here? I mean, he really is starting to become a force running the ball.
Good to see him kicking into high gear, good patience, waiting on the cut, and then kicking into high gear and, end up with a good 30-plus yard gain.
And this is probably the most beautiful pass of the game right here, just a dime.
I thought Ryan McCown really had his best game of the year. Threw a great pass right there. Did a lot better job of keeping his vision down the field and making good throws.
Well, let's get the defense involved here. This is a huge 4th and 1 stop, Dominique and Coda.
Yeah, this is something we've talked about all year long. It's the first time we've really been able to do it in this particular situation, but it was a great play by the defense.
Coach Jesus is starting to become a weapon for you. 34-yarder.
Did a great job of swinging through and kicking it for 34.
It was a big interception by Cash Bearden.
It had been tested early, and we were on the back end of that a few times. I was very proud of Cash coming back and being able to make a big play like that.
Coach, how about this catch by Ryan Walker?
How he picked that off the ground, I don't know. He did a great job of scooping it up, and then, hard run to end up gaining 15 yards.
Here's that Wildcat again. It's Jermaine's turn.
Yeah, good read by Jermaine on the cut, not just taking to the sideline, but seeing the hole and getting vertical and getting in.
This was our congratulations play of the game, Jaden Boyd from 2 yards out of the beast.
This is our beast package. This is something the kids have fun with. We'll put in an extra lineman and do some different things. It's been good to us.
Coach, as we look at the statistics, statistics don't always tell the story, but, man, you had more passing yards. Barely. They were up by 4. But more rushing yards. You ran the ball well. Total yardage. Look at the time of possession. You really switched that and flipped that script from the previous 2 ball games.
Yeah, the first thing that jumps out to me there, Crandall was very good on paper running the football. And to hold him 115 yards on the ground, 4 quarters, that's credit to our defense and the way they played. If we'd have shored some things up in the passing end, we'd have been even better statistically. And obviously, moving the football, converting third downs, being able to hang on to it, things of that nature are big too. That's why we had such a big lapse in the time of possession. So it was good to see the 27 first downs opposed to their 17. I mean, we're doing some good things, but then there's that bottom little category that's kind of been our nemesis to this point. We had 2 turnovers to their one of which turned into a touchdown for them. And, that's what we got to eliminate.
Yeah, you're -6 on turnovers for the year so far, so that's a big deal. So, Coach, now you go back on the road. It's Pine Tree. 2 teams still looking for their first win. Pine Tree at 0-3, Jacksonville at 0-3. Talk about the Pirates and what they've been facing. They're only averaging, I think, as the screen shows, 15 points a game. They're struggling a little bit under a new head coach, and so talk about what Pine Tree does.
They've struggled. They've got 2 different quarterbacks that they've repped, and I kind of think the starter, who was a senior, got hurt after game 2. And started a sophomore last week who came in and did a pretty good job throwing the ball against Kilgore. But they've kind of been kind of like us to a degree. You don't really know, hadn't really settled in on anything offensively. They've been in a tight end set. They've been in some H-back set, kind of flip-flop back and forth. So we're just preparing for everything that we know that they can do, and hope to be ready for that on Friday night.
Isn't that what happens when you have a new coaching staff come in? It takes a few games to find your identity.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It does. It takes a few games, and then it takes reevaluating personnel and making switches. Oftentimes you can switch one person here and there, and get that right combination that you're looking for.
So does Pine Tree? You mentioned the quarterback situation. So do they throw the ball more? Or do they try to run the ball more?
I think they favor run. They're about 60-40 run pass. Got 2 good tailbacks that'll put their head down and gain yards on you. We've got one real good receiver, particularly that stands out. Number 1 they'll take some shots with him down the field. Defensively, they've got a really good defensive end. That's a college prospect.
Yeah, he's a D1 kid for sure.
Division I prospect, and he's tough. We're going to have to deal with him. They run a lot of fronts, multiple fronts defensively, jump in and out of things. So, we've got to be on point and make sure that we understand what they're in and how to block them and things of that nature. But I think the formula is the same for us. I think we've got to be able to run the football.
Yeah.
And everything else sets up from that. So if we can have some of the same success running the ball that we did last Friday night, I really like our chances.
Of course, they played a good Kilgore team and played them 20-14. That kind of got my attention a little bit. That maybe they're kind of having their turn the corner moment like Jacksonville did last week.
Yeah, I think the big push. Some of the kinks starting to get worked out by game 3. The big push, obviously, now is to win. Try to go into district play with that win. Notch that win on your back and bring momentum into the district. So it's a big game.
Coach, keys to the game for Jacksonville to get the win.
Well, obviously, like you've been saying, we're -6, so take care of the football. We need to take the ball away from them. We need to protect the ball on our side. And, I think if we'll play sound defense and prevent them from getting over the top of us in the secondary and, handle the run and put a combination of running game, complementing the passing game, I think we'll be in great shape.
Coach, last thing, did you get a feel in practice this week after last week's performance that you can say to the kids, you see how this works, you see how it's clicking, this is what we've been talking about, and did you see that the light bulb go off like we've talked about?
Well, practice has been a little bit slower this week. I think we had a little bit of the wind let out of our sails, but we've got the kids understand that, and we certainly made that point. We watched film on Saturday, how close we are, and we're right there on the cusp of being who we think we can be. And it's just those little mistakes throughout the football game that we've got to shore up, and if we can eliminate those and play good, clean, complementary football, which is what we did the second half last week against Crandall. We played for the first time this year, played some pretty decent complementary football where we'd get a stop defensively, we'd move the ball and score offensively, and that's the whole key. Mm-hmm. And we've got to complement each other and not let the game run away from us.
Jacksonville versus Pine Tree on the road at Pirate Stadium this Friday night. Kickoff coming up at 7:30. We'll be live streaming on jhs-sports.com starting at 6:45. For head coach Jason Holman, I'm Matt Montgomery. We'll see you next time right here on Smoke Signals.
And we're back live. Thanks again to All Smiles Dentistry for their sponsorship of all our conversations with head coach Jason Holman. And that was this week's episode of Smoke Signals. And Matt, we heard Coach Holman talking about Jacksonville looking to get that win heading into district play and feeling pretty good after last week.
Well, I mean, all the hard work, and you played really two games and a quarter of not really good football. Sulphur Springs game, the White House game, and that first quarter of the Crandall game almost got away from Jacksonville, and boy, they just turned it around, and you could just see Coach Holman just kind of feel like, okay, it's starting to work a little bit. But you got to keep playing. You got another game the next Friday night, another game the next Friday night. You got to keep growing from it. And I will tell you that their practices on Monday and Tuesday were not that great. I mean, Coach Holman had to have a couple of heart-to-hearts with him, and he thinks it was maybe a bit of a hangover from not getting that win because I'm telling you, there was a lot of hurt-fighting Indians down at that Tomato Bowl. They really wanted to get that win against Crandall, and they didn't get it. So you like to see that, but you know what? You got to come back to work Monday, and you got to get to work. So that's one thing that he was proud of was the hurt look, but hey, you got to get back to work. And like I said, he had a Newt Rockney speech, I'll call it that, on Tuesday after practice. Man, it went for about 20 minutes. I was pretty impressed. He got the young men's attention, and then they came back on Wednesday and had a really good practice. Folks, it's homecoming here at Pine Tree tonight as the festivities just now wrapping up, as the Pine Tree alumni have made their way over there, Aaron, to your left out of the press box. If you can see down there, they got quite a pavilion down there where they're entertaining a lot of the alumni. So it's a big night here in Longview for the Pine Tree Pirates. Folks, we want to remind you this part of our countdown to kickoff has been brought to you by Micah Hoffpower of Texas Farm Bureau. Micah can help you with all of your homeowners, auto insurance, and life insurance needs. Micah Hoffpower of Texas Farm Bureau. We appreciate Micah sponsoring this part of our countdown to kickoff.
Yeah, Micah does a fantastic job. It's great to do some work with him and get some things lined up over the summer, and he helped my family out, so I would recommend him to anybody that needs any help with insurance. Give Micah a call. Matt, this Fighting Indian offense, we talked about last week, the wrinkles that we saw, sort of the progression of the offense. But, hey, a big part of the offense, no matter what you do and how you get him the ball, when you talk about Jacksonville offense, you've got to talk about the player we're going to spotlight this evening, and that's Coda Kennedy.
Yeah, Coda is he's been mainly a defensive player, and of course he's a Division I recruit. He's committed to Lamar University down in Beaumont, and I just keep waiting for them to get Coda a little bit more involved in the offense. He is a big part of the offense, but of course playing defense at linebacker, that's been what his MO has been for the last couple of years. But he had a couple of solid scrimmages. He caught 4 touchdown passes in the 2 scrimmages against Kaufman and Bullard. Been kind of quiet offensively in these first 3 games. You just wonder when he's going to have that breakout. But last week it was Devin McEwen. I mean, he had 8 catches last week, couple touchdowns, just really had a big game, which is what you expect from Devin McEwen. But Coda Kennedy is the spotlight player this week, and he is an impressive player for Jacksonville, and he's really starting to be a leader on this football team.
Yeah, and Matt, of course, he was second-team All-District as a linebacker last year, and as you said, that has kind of been his focus, has been the defensive side of the ball. But going to his leadership that you just mentioned as well, just his versatility, you got to love if you're the coaching staff for these Fighting Indians, especially considering that it was kind of a short offseason for Jacksonville. It's great to come in and have some guys built in that you feel like can be leaders for you, and Coda's definitely one of those.
Well, Coda had some moments last year his junior year, and we all know those moments. And it's really funny. Last night I was at the junior varsity game, and one of the Jacksonville players kind of had a little moment out on the field. I turned around and looked at Coda, and Coda said, "Man, that looked just like me last year, Mr. Montgomery." I said, "Hey, I want to tell you, I'm proud of you. You're starting to get control of your emotions more during the game."
That's a mark of growth and leadership. Absolutely.
He's starting to get it. He said, "I still have my moments now," and he smiled real big, and I said, "But you're much better than you were last year, right?" He said, "Absolutely." So, and that's what you want out of your seniors. And, he's like I said, he's committed to Lamar University, and Coda's still growing. I mean, he's 6'3" right now, but I think he's still growing. He's tall and long, buddy. But Jacksonville offensively last week, 405 yards of total offense, and I think they're just scratching the surface. I mean, if they have so many weapons, I mean, you think about it. You got, Ryan McCown can throw it anywhere on the field, any kind of pass you want. Jaden Boyd, Jawalen Kennedy, Jermaine Taylor, Coda, and, of course, Devin McEwen. And don't forget Ryan Walker. He had a heck of a catch in front of the Jacksonville bench last week and got a big first down, and he was, the Dark Chiropractic bone crusher hit of the week, and that was after he caught a pass. He mowed somebody down. So all kinds of offensive weapons for Jacksonville. I think the key for the Fighting Indians, Aaron, is how much they improve on defense. If they can just figure out how to cover the pass. They've struggled in the secondary. Crandall got them a few times. Of course, Cash Bearden had the interception last week, the only one for Jacksonville in the first 3 games. And the secondary, they've got to get better. There's no other way to say it, because when you start playing Kilgore and Chapel Hill, I think those are the second and third district ball games. They have 2 returning quarterbacks that can just light you up. So I'm hoping to see some improvement in Jacksonville's secondary.
Yeah, absolutely. As the Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band gets ready to play the school song, Matt, we're just about ready to go here, about 6.5 minutes. The team's making their way back out. Fighting Indians looking good in the white jerseys, the blue pants, and the new blue helmets with the gold trim, the gold spear, I guess we'd say, or arrowhead, one of the two.
Yeah, it's I think it's more of a spear, spear look.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as the Jacksonville crowd starts to roll in slowly, not too many people here just yet, but it's still just a little bit 7:30.
Maybe still finishing up their hamburgers at the butcher shop,
man, I love the butcher shop.
Like you and Ryan and Todd.
We just wore that place out.
That's the place to go.
It is. Hey, let's look at some games around the area. There's some pretty good matchups before district starts next week. Athens is at Kaufman tonight. So the little 175 rivalry right there is Jacksonville scrimmaged Kaufman and beat them in the live part of the scrimmage, 17-14. So it's Athens at Kaufman. Henderson is at White House. And, of course, Henderson's 0-3. White House is 3-0. Aaron, White House, man, they surprised me. They went over to Corsicana last week, and they spanked Corsicana there at Tiger Stadium 48-10. So that was a pretty impressive win for White House. Kilgore at Hallsville. Heard about the Bobcats, 3-0. They beat Sulphur last week. So Hallsville's a team that, it's been Jacksonville's only win the last couple of years was against Hallsville. Now look at the Bobcats at 3-0, but they've got a tough game at home against Kilgore. Lindale is headed to Gilmer. Whew, that's going to be a tall task right there for the Lindale Eagles. Palestine has their open week tonight. So this is kind of unusual. We mentioned, usually you play your non-district games and everybody got an open week. That's not that way in this new district. Chapel Hill is at Nacogdoches, and, of course, Chapel Hill got their first win last week. They spanked Greenville 69-20 after starting the season 0-2, but they played some pretty good teams to start the season, did Chapel Hill. Nacogdoches is 0-3, by the way. They're really struggling down there in NAC-land. So that's a look at the district, Jacksonville's district teammates, if you will, and where they're playing tonight. Folks, this part of our countdown to kickoff is brought to you by our good friends Gene Brumlow and Ann Farmer of the South Jackson Dairy Queen. Gene, class of 1967, and Ann, class of 2006. We appreciate them for sponsoring this part of our countdown to kickoff. Head on down to the South Jackson Dairy Queen, get you a DQ Blizzard. You'll love it.
So, Matt, the Fighting Indians looking for that first win of the season and the first win of the Jason Holman era. And I know maybe Coach Holman wouldn't put a lot of emphasis on that, but you do. You want to get that. You want to get that first win and get that under your belt, especially before district starts.
Absolutely. I mean, you had 3 weeks of 2 days, and then school started, and you get into that schedule, and you want some reward for your hard work. And Jacksonville won 1 game in 2020. They won 1 game in 2021. It's been a while since Jacksonville's been in the win column very much, and so no doubt that you'd like to start that right here tonight against Pine Tree, another team that's really looking for their first win at 0-3 as well. So Jacksonville's still warming up in the infield. Is yet to come out of there. Here they come. Now they're coming out between the scoreboard. Look at the Pirate flag. That's pretty cool. They got them a little pregame thing, just like Jacksonville does with that cool video about playing at Tomato Bowl. What is that song they're playing? Can you hear that?
Yeah, I think it's one of those songs from one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Okay. That's somebody did a little choreography. It's pretty cool. Got the pirate flag with the skull flying in there. So, okay. Pine Tree, their uniforms we talked about in pregame a little bit for our viewers that will be tuning in. They look a lot like Michigan.
The gold pants, the dark blue, jersey's almost black.
It's that maize. Isn't that maize blue?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they look like. Of course, Jacksonville has the royal blue.
Well, I guess it's maize and blue. Maize would be the gold color.
Oh, maize is the gold color.
Yeah.
What am I talking about? Corn. Duh.
But yeah, so it's a dark blue. It's almost black.
It is. And it's funny because I watched them on Huddle this last week, and you just reverse those jerseys. They had, like gold, maize color, gold jerseys with the dark numerals, which was interesting. They had the gold pants on. They looked like bananas going down the
discussing with Ryan Travis. I think it was last week. Of course, Ryan played college ball at ETBU. They have a very similar color scheme. And I think it was Ryan's senior year who was telling me they had a gold jersey very similar to that.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
Yeah, Jacksonville back, several years ago, they experimented with some different jerseys like that. And I remember Jacksonville having a gold jersey. It didn't last long. It just didn't look good. I think they maybe wore twice, something like that. And just didn't fit. Just didn't look like Jacksonville. So Jacksonville now gathering under the run through. Pine Tree getting set to come out here on homecoming night at Pine Tree is Jacksonville and their old district rival Pine Tree. They were in the district for many, many years. Of course, Pine Tree back, if you remember this, Aaron, they were 6A, which was the old 5A for a long time. And they stepped down finally. Boy, they had a hard time in 6A. Thankfully for them, they were able to drop to 5A, and they still struggle.
Now the Pirates making their way out, flags flying, the smoke machine going. The team not quite through the run-through just yet. Here they come, led by that Jolly Roger Pirate flag.
Not a bad entrance.
And now, here comes the Tribe. Always great to see the Tribe led out by that Mighty J flag. Of course, the memorial to the late Mighty Blanton.
Oh, yeah, Mighty. What a great young man he was.
You talk about school spirit.
Oh, man.
He had it.
Well, that's where the flag came from. He
that's
started
right.
that. Yeah.
He was the flag guy.
So I got to go down here and get my handshakes. They may not want to shake my hand. That hasn't been working very well for the last couple of years. We'll try it anyway.
Don't take it personally, man.
No, I'm not. Of course, I missed the White House game when I was out, and so I know it's not my hat. Here we go.
Now we'll have a moment of prayer followed by the national anthem. Now the Pine Tree High School Choir will sing Star Spangled Banner.
Pine Tree Choir with the playing of the national anthem as we're getting set to kick it off here at Pine Tree. Week 4, Jacksonville versus Pine Tree. This part of our countdown to kickoff brought to you by our good friends Gene Brumlow and Ann Farmer of the South Jackson Dairy Queen. Appreciate Ann and Gene, both former JHS students. Gene, class of 67, Ann, class of 2006, for sponsoring this part of our countdown to kick off the South Jackson Dairy Queen. So we get set for the toss of the coin, which I shared with you guys earlier. It has already been done, and Pine Tree won the toss. And they decided to take the football, and I asked Coach Holman, I said, did you lose the toss? He said, hey, I got what I wanted.
Yeah, we saw how that worked for Jacksonville, getting the ball at the beginning of the second half last week, scoring, and then having that 3 and out on their first defensive drive. So hope that will continue.
No doubt.
Can't help but noticing the Pine Tree players all kind of spread out around their sideline while Jacksonville's brought the whole team out to the numbers. I like to see that, Matt.
Yeah, I like that too. So there's the ceremonial coin toss. Again, already done, and Jacksonville will be going from right to left on your screen as we're streaming on jhs-sports.com or YouTube, Twitch, Facebook Live. We're all over the place, Aaron. It's a multifaceted production.
Glad to be with you. However, you may be streaming. Was talking to the
Have a good one.
Talking to the guys on the Pine Tree broadcast team on my way up the elevator, and we were just talking about how much fun we're having now that we can stream everything for the fans.
And there wasn't any discussion at all this year. You know, last year it was a little bit questionable whether the UIL was going to approve it, and 80% of the superintendents said, yes, we want streaming. We do not think it's going to affect attendance. People are going to still come to the games. No doubt that's the truth, and I just love it that people can, go to the game and then go home later if they want to watch their youngster perform in the band or march, or they want to watch them, one of the Charmers, one of the drill team, whatever you want to watch. I mean, you can go back and watch it, and those games are, when we started doing it, 3 years ago, they're still on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, and we've gotten lots of messages of family members, grandparents, folks that can't make it to the ball games that are just very appreciative to have the ability to watch their family members just as if they were at the ball game. So it's great. We're glad you're with us.
So Jordan Cabrera has it teed up for Jacksonville to kick it off, dropping back the dangerous Jalen Robinson for Pine Tree, flanked by Jordan Taylor. We're set to go. Glad you're with us here on jhs-sports.com. And here's your play-by-play with Aaron Swink.
Cabrera's kick is high and fielded on the far side cleanly. Jacksonville's got to make the tackle. They finally do, out at about the 30, where the Pirates will start.
So we'll see who comes out for quarterback for the Pine Tree Pirates. Cale Skinner, the senior, has started the season but was injured, so I'm really not sure. And I think Jason Holman even said he wasn't sure who Jacksonville would see come out at quarterback. But it's Jonathan Fuller, number 1, the senior wide receiver for Pine Tree. He's their go-to receiver. Watch him. He's a good one. It's going to be Matt Cates, the sophomore, getting the start at quarterback for the Pirates.
Shotgun set, spread for the Pirates, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff straight ahead, and some hard yardage down near the 33.
Just a tough run there by Jalen Robinson right in the A-gap, and there he is, that man, Caden Franklin, who's been a war horse for Jacksonville at that 2 technique. Also in on the tackle, number 24, that's Zadarius Hinton. So pickup of about 3, actually 2, 2nd and 8 now for Pine Tree.
So Cates gets the play and brings it into the huddle. So they'll go 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Pine Tree, like Jacksonville, does not go under center. Cates will fire this one out to the right side, complete over the 40, first down yardage.
John Johnson on the coverage for Jacksonville. Just a quick out route to that first down stick, complete for the first down for Pine Tree. That'll be their first down. That moves the chains and moves the football out to the Pirate 44. Nice crisp pass there by the sophomore Matt Cates of Pine Tree.
So Cates sends a man in motion from the right to the left. Now hands off straight ahead, and Jacksonville stays home.
Caden Franklin with a tackle, along with, John Johnson coming up also supporting from the secondary, making the tackle, and that's Jalen Robbins again on the handoff. He'll pick up about a yard, 2nd down 9. So Jacksonville's interior doing a nice job up there. Raphael Foy also in there, getting his 2nd start on that defensive line for Jacksonville. So 2nd down, 9 to go.
2 receivers left, 1 right this time for the Pirates. Cates looks to pass. He drops back, checks down over the middle to Fuller. Or check that, Robinson, who makes his way out near midfield.
Nice screen setup, and boy, Jaden Boyd for Jacksonville just so close to getting Robinson. He got a hand on him, but not before Robinson picks up 7 yards. So 3rd down and 3. Pine Tree already has 1 first down. The football's right at midfield at the 50, so Matt Cates gets the play from the sideline, comes out. Let's see if Jacksonville defensively can get a stop here and get off the field.
Trips right, go the receivers for the Pirates. This 3rd and a long 3. Now man in motion from right to left is Fuller. He gets the handoff. Jacksonville can stop him short. Looks
short.
like they do.
Yeah,
as he tried to turn the corner there.
Tried to turn that corner, and what a nice play by Coda Kennedy, forcing him to the outside, and it's the big fella, Jonathan Fuller, the big wide receiver, and he went out and his toe touched just out of bounds. He actually lost 2 yards. So 4th down and 5, and Pine Tree will punt the football. Jacksonville will get it. Devin McEwen drops back deep for the Fighting Indians.
So McEwen looks set to give Jacksonville good field position on this first possession that they have, but it's a high kick, and it's a good one that will chase McEwen down near his 10, and he is swarmed.
Yeah, Devin just trying to make a play right there. You might think, you don't feel the ball inside the 10 like that. You try to let that go into the end zone, but as elusive as Devin is, you want to see him get the ball. So Jacksonville will start this drive in pretty poor field position. Their opening drive, they'll start at their 11-yard line.
So Ryan McCowan will lead the Fighting Indians out. This first possession. As we mentioned, Jacksonville will not go under center. They'll spread it out. 2 receivers right, 1 left. H-back Ryan Walker on the left side. Now man in motion, but the handoff is straight ahead. Heard you call for a face mask there, Matt.
Didn't get it. Joellen, nice gain right there of about 5.
Kennedy with solid first carry.
Boy, he turned the corner really quickly. Nice play by number 20. That's Brock Reddick. He got him by the shoulder pads, Joellen, he did, and he just, Jalen ripped off 5, 2nd and 5 for Jacksonville.
2 receivers left, 1 right. Kennedy stays in with McCown in the backfield. As Ryan takes the snap, hands off to Kennedy, who will stretch this play to the right side. All kinds of yardage and space for the Bill McCray Ford first down.
Boy, great seal block over there by Ryan Walker. Hagen Ray at his offensive tackle position just turning the defense in, and, of course, they're running away from the D1 commit, A&M commit Dalen Evans running to this side. And the downfield blocking by Jermaine Taylor right there for Jacksonville, impressive. There's the first Bill McCray Ford first down for Jacksonville. It pushes the ball out to the 31 of the Fighting Indians.
1 Indian receiver right, 2 left. McCown drops, sets, throws over the middle. Got a man. All kinds of yardage.
Walker!
As Walker takes it down into Pirate territory for another Bill McCray Ford first down. This one to the 35.
Boy, I love the poise that Ryan McCown showed in the pocket as the pressure was coming. He just softly just flicked it out there down the middle on a seam route, and Ryan Walker makes a nice catch in traffic. Then he gets a few yards upfield, so this drive that started at the Jacksonville 11-yard line, 2 first downs later, and Jacksonville is at the Pine Tree 36.
Yeah, they'll spot this one at the 36. Wanted to give him that extra yard. 2 receivers right, 1 left for McCowan. This time, handoff goes nowhere.
And guess who was there? The big fella. Well, the cornerback came up and made the initial hit, and I think Joellen was about to get away from number 26, Noah Salazar, but then here comes the big fella, Dalen Evans, and he finished off Joellen. Loss on the play of about 4, so 2nd and 14 for Jacksonville.
So down under 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Jacksonville getting a stop on their first defensive possession and now driving. The ball sitting at the Pine Tree 40-yard line.
You see why it's tough to run to that side with Evans over there, huh?
Yeah, the Pirates showing pressure.
Little confusion here.
Here, let's see if Jacksonville can get the snap away. They do. The handoff to Kennedy, but the Pirates able to just plug the middle.
And nothing doing right there. It was all Brock Reddick coming up and then a bunch of Pine Tree Pirates. So now it's 3rd down. They'll give them the benefit of about a yard. 3rd and 13. Well, 3rd and 12, actually. They gave him a couple yards. So even Jacksonville, even if they don't get a first down, which they have to get to the 26 of Pine Tree to get a first down, they're in 4-down territory.
Trips right, 1 left, go the Indian receivers. McCowan needs some time to throw. Throws right, screen pass is caught. And some nice moves, and how about that Bill McCray Ford first down?
Well, that's Devin. You got Devin McEwen right there. It's a verb now. He just caught that ball, and Pine Tree had him dead to rights, and it was actually Evans coming across the field. He had a shot at Devin McEwen of Jacksonville, and the senior just juked and jived and gets up the field to the 21-yard line. First down, Jacksonville.
So Jacksonville driving, looking to get into the Pirates' red zone, maybe more. McCowan fires to his left, this time incomplete.
I do not like to see those tips, guys.
Yeah, off the hands of Walker that time.
I think 2 interceptions this year that Ryan has had were when receivers for Jacksonville tipped the ball up, and the defense got it for the pick. So you think, well, that's not the quarterback's fault there. That wouldn't be. I mean, it hits you in the hands, you got to catch it. Got a flag. Procedure, Jacksonville.
So that'll back this one up.
So first downs are tough. Of course, that was 2nd down. So with the penalty, it'll be 2nd and 15.
Now, Joellen Kennedy kind of went down in a crouch there, Matt, and was a little slow to get up, and he may have just been frustrated, but I'm not sure. 2 receivers to the left of this formation and 1 to the right now for Jacksonville as McCowan hands it off to Kennedy, tries to stretch the play to the right side. Nothing doing.
Well, right there, I'm telling you, Brock Reddick is having a heck of a first drive defensively for Pine Tree. Right there to make the tackle as Kennedy went down kind of awkwardly right there. He's kind of holding his right groin area. He got split. I mean, it was not one of those cheerleader splits you like to see right there. Got up kind of gingerly. So Jalen Boyd will check in on 3rd down, 14 to go for Jacksonville. They got to get down to the 11-yard line of Pine Tree to get a first down.
They've got 3 receivers on the left and 1 on the right of this shotgun set. McCowan under some pressure, rolls to his left, doesn't have anybody, so he's going to tuck it himself. And he's all the way down near the 15, call it the 14, and he'll step out there.
Well, it'll be 4th down and about 4 for Jacksonville as McCowan, nice job seeing the open space. Thought he might plant his foot and go toward the middle of the field and try to pick up that first down, but Jason Holman is going to go for the points here. He's going to bring on Jesus Nunez, who had a 34-yarder last week against Crandall. He'll come on. Ryan McCown will hold. This will be a 30-yard field goal from the left hash for Jesus Nunez, the junior for Jacksonville.
Very little win for this field goal. All field goals brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee, downtown Jacksonville. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up and good.
Nunes!
So
How
with
about it?
4:25 to go in the first quarter, the Indians strike first from 30 yards out and lead Pine Tree by a score of 3-0. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
Dr. Folden, Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Bill McRae Ford has been serving East Texans since 1976. They can help you find the best deal on a used car or if you're ready to purchase something new. Open Monday through Saturday. Bill McRae Ford. Come see us.
Congratulations is Jacksonville's source for a full line of awards and engraving services. But we don't stop there. You'll want to check out our examples of creative personalized gifts too. Congratulations also serves East Texas as a promotional products dealer. We are passionate about sourcing just the right items. With our laser...
And we are back live at Pirates Stadium here in Longview, where Jacksonville has just taken a 3-0 lead with our first Fighting Indians scoring drive summary of the evening. Here's Todd Travis. Todd?
It was a 9-play drive, covered 74 yards, ending with a field goal, putting the Indians up 3-0.
Yeah, boy, you love coming away with points right there.
Especially after getting that stop on the first drive. This is a high kickoff to the near side, fielded at the 15. See if Jacksonville can make a stop here, a tackle. And the return man all the way out near midfield.
Jacksonville's struggling on the kickoffs this year, guys. They are not staying in their lanes. I mean, you had two guys that were trying to close. They closed too soon. You can't close that quick because that guy that's running back the kickoff, he's probably faster than you. That's why he's back there. So you got to break down. You can't go into a dead sprint at him or he's going to juke you, and that's what he did. So Pine Tree gets good field position for the second time on their kickoff return to their own 47.
So Matt Cates, the sophomore, will lead the Pirates back out. He'll have Jalen Robinson in the backfield with him. Two receivers on the right, one on the left. Shotgun look. Receiver in motion, left to right. Cates hands off to Robinson, straight ahead and straight through everybody.
Got a flag down.
And this may be coming back. We'll see what the call is, Matt.
It may be offsides Jacksonville, and that is going to be the call.
That's it. So insult to injury.
Coda Kennedy running down the running back, Jalen Robinson. That's that quick hitter that he scored last week in a play just like that from 70 against Kilgore. So once he gets in the open field, Jacksonville was fortunate that Coda was able to run him down right there, but nevertheless it's a first down with 4 minutes and counting in this first quarter. Jacksonville leading 3-0. Pine Tree's already at the Jacksonville 32 first down.
They'll come out with three receivers on the right side of this set, Will Pine Tree. And this snap gets away from Cates. He picks it back up, though, and Jacksonville there to make the stop.
It just bounced right off his hands. It wasn't that bad of a snap for Cates. I think he just looked away what he was going to do. And when you play sophomores, you know, their first ride up on the varsity, I mean, it's a little bit different game than playing freshman ball. And Cates just didn't look that one in. So he gets the play after the big loss, second down 16. As Jacksonville wraps him up for the big loss.
So 3:24 and counting here first quarter. Jacksonville with the early lead. If you're just joining us, 3-0. Ball sitting at the Indian 39-yard line. This time Cates looks to pass as he sets and he throws deep.
Got a flag, and it's incomplete in the end zone. Nice play by Cash Beard, knocking that away from Jonathan Fuller, who's their go-to receiver. Cates going into the end zone, and so they're talking to Jason Holman. It's going to be holding against Pine Tree. Jacksonville will decline. They'll take the down, and they'll keep it, make it third down, 17. Boy, the closing speed right there by Cash Beard, and it was a post route. Got a little bit behind Pine Tree's Fuller, and he just closed the gap in a hurry and slapped it away.
So a big chance here, Matt, for the Jacksonville defense to pick up their second straight stop. Let's see if they can do it on this 3rd and 17. Obvious passing situation. We'll see if the Indians bring some pressure on Cates. They look to do that. Cates hands off, though, got a flag.
Another flag.
And Robinson's knocked down about the 40. We'll see if we can get the call.
I have no idea what that is. I think it's against Pine Tree for holding
Probably,
again.
I was going to say, probably in the area of a hold.
Yeah, he's calling.
That's the call.
Did he call a hold?
It's a hold.
Okay.
It's declined.
All right. So 4th down 17.
Yep.
I'm not sure. Pine Tree was trying to do a counter play right there, and it just got blown up by Hinton of Jacksonville. He got in there and just shattered it. So now Pine Tree will play a little field position. Jacksonville started their first drive at their 11, got 3 points out of it. Devin McCune will be out down inside his 10-yard line for the punt.
Snap is good. The punt
They're not kicking it to him.
is
That's a smart
away
move.
from McEwen. Yeah, they've seen tape.
Yes, they know who Devin McCune is.
That's right. So Jacksonville will take over.
Yeah, I don't think you could kick. I don't think you could punt a football any further away from Devin McCune than that one right there.
Without punting it over your head backward.
So Jacksonville will get their second offensive possession. Boy, the defense a little bending, but you got to say that the kickoff team for Jacksonville is really the one that has given up the most yards tonight. Isn't the Jacksonville defense as much? Giving Pine Tree some pretty good field position. So Jacksonville at their own 25 after the touchback. Well, actually not a touchback. It's just we're out of bounds on the punt, isn't it?
Yep. That's right. And so now McCowan
Here we
looks
go.
to pass, loads up. Deep ball.
So
Incomplete, no flag.
close. Yeah.
Looking for Taylor.
When Taylor took off the line, I knew that ball was going to him. I could tell when Jermaine takes off like that, you can tell he shot out of a rocket ship on a post route. Thought there might have been a little contact before the ball got there. Ball just a little bit out of the reach of Taylor, so incomplete. 2nd down 10 for Jacksonville.
Ball still sitting at the Jacksonville 25, 2:31 to go here first quarter. Jacksonville working on their second offensive possession of the ball game. As McCowan throws the screen pass to the right. It's caught. Nice block.
Yeah.
And a good gain out near the
Taylor.
35 for Taylor.
He got a lot of that on his own as Devin McCune just kind of got a little chip right there, but good coverage by number 6, Amari Gary of Pine Tree. Got off that block of McCune and made contact with Taylor, but Taylor just kind of shook him off and gets up the field for a nice gain. So gets some of that back. No, he gets the first down, excuse me. First down, Bill
So
McCray
he
Ford
picks
first
up
down.
the Bill McCray Ford first down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to quit looking at the scoreboard. I got to look at the chains. They don't have it right up there. First down.
Now the handoff
Oh, boy.
straight ahead.
He's still moving.
And he's still going to try to move the pile.
Easy. Jaden just patted the big fella for A&M commit Dalen Evans on the top of the head and said, hey, you didn't get me on the ground.
Said, I'll be seeing you again tonight.
Yeah. They'll give Boyd about, actually no gain, 2nd and 10.
So now 1:30 and counting here as we wind our way toward the end of this first quarter. McCown drops back. He's got to get away from this pressure.
Yeah, he didn't get. He got the pass away incomplete. But
Yeah, he did.
Devin Washington hit him from behind, and very similar to the scoop and score play last week that Crandall had when Ryan got out of the pocket, just trying to make a play, and he got the ball up, fumbled, and they ran it back 75 for the score. That one, he was
Yeah.
able to get his arm moving forward, so it's incomplete. 3rd down 10. As McCown limping just a little bit. You know when you're running and somebody kind of clips your heels from behind, it takes a little while to kind of get that shook out. So he's got a little bit of a limp there, but he's okay. Can still play. So 3rd down. Call it 9 for Jacksonville.
So see if the Indians can convert, keep this drive alive.
Jermaine.
Yeah, Taylor. You talked about him firing off the line.
Yeah.
Well, he did that a little bit early that time.
I can tell you that the pass was going to Jermaine.
Yeah, he knew that too.
Just by the way that he took off. A little bit anxious there. So 3rd down 15. So you got Taylor, McEwen split right. Coda on the left. Isn't that Coda?
Yeah.
I think, yep. Let's get Coda in isolation. Drop him one.
McCown looking to that right side, though, and
What a catch!
right at the sticks. The catch is
Oh, my
made.
goodness. Jermaine Taylor with the catch. Wow. He stretched out, put his toes just inside the white sideline. Doesn't get the first down. He's just short. And here comes the beast. The beast package is coming in on 4th down. Jason Holman is going for it. Jaden Boyd is the beastie. Guess who's getting the ball?
And so Boyd
4th down.
looking for a few yards here.
Golly bum.
And
Jacksonville.
whistles blow this dead as Jacksonville appears to have moved. They did.
Just relax. So now Jacksonville's going to have to punt the ball. That's rough. Oh, man. Skylar Whitaker will check in for his first punt of the ball game. Has a 50-yarder to his credit in 2022 so far. Let's see if he can pop one right here. Oh, that's tough. Jacksonville had everything lined up right there. And 2 or 3 guys moved. It wasn't just, I think it was the entire beast backfield. They were just so anxious to blow a hole through there, they just moved. So Jacksonville's missing someone. Here comes Hagan Ray. Got time, 5 on the play
5
clock.
seconds on the play clock, so should have time to get it away. And Whitaker does.
Thought he's going to get that bounce and it stayed
Yeah,
in bounds,
just-
but it goes out.
Just went straight out. So nothing doing on the second possession for Jacksonville. Pine Tree will take over. 9 seconds showing in the first quarter. And our score, Jacksonville 3 and Pine Tree nothing. So the Fighting Indian defense has held, bent but not broken.
And the offense is got to stop making mistakes. I mean, they can move this football on Pine Tree. There's no doubt. They have the scheme. They have the players. They just got to quit making mistakes. Settle down and do what you're supposed to do.
So Matt Cates back to work for the Pirate offense. 2 receivers on his right, 1 on his left. Robinson, the back in the backfield with him.
Boy, these guys are blowing every small motion. They are blowing that whistle.
Yeah, so procedure on Pine Tree that time. Yeah.
I mean, I think if you blink,
Yeah,
they're going to call it. I mean, that's like the 6th motion penalty on both teams.
Yep.
Here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I hope nobody's nose itches or anything,
I mean,
you know.
yeah, it's like, golly. I'm seeing some of those moves, but not that one. I don't know what Pine Tree did. It's 1st and 15.
So now Cates takes the snap, hands off to Robinson, who will
Nice tackle.
run through the right side A gap, but Jacksonville able to cut him down before he gets up ahead of steam.
Yeah. Dakota Martinez of Jacksonville with a nice tackle to end this first quarter with Jacksonville leading.
So after 1, the score is Jacksonville 3, Pine Tree nothing. We'll take a short break as they change ends here at Pirate Stadium and come back for more Fighting Indian football on JHS-sports.com.
Since 1953, Huber Glass Oil has been serving East Texans the finest automotive fuels and lubricants. Huber Glass Oil Company, the clear solution for your business.
The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich is delicious. It's got that barbecue flavor, the cheese melts on top with that Texas toast. You look at it, your mouth starts watering. It's my go-to sandwich. The honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, that's my all-time favorite.
Hi, I'm Matt Montgomery. For the past 37 years, I've been helping people just like you get their financial ducks in a row. I'm a registered investment advisor and chartered financial consultant. We do portfolio management and comprehensive financial planning. Give me a call for a free consultation.
And we're back live at Pirate Stadium here in Longview as we get set to begin the second quarter. And, Matt, I know there's some frustration over there on the Jacksonville sideline about the motion on the Beast package play. I could hear some of that discussion. I mean, that was –
Jaden wasn't happy.
That was going to be a first down.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
Yeah, he had it. So here's Pine Tree, second down 10 for the Pirates.
So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right now, man in motion over to the right side. Cates will roll that way and throw complete down to about the 47. That's first down yardage.
That's Jonathan Fuller, that go-to receiver. Cates has a pretty good arm for a sophomore. I mean, he really gets his feet, gets his hips turning, has something behind his passes. So that's a Pine Tree first down. It pushes the ball out to the Pirate 47.
Just underway here in the second quarter. Pine Tree looking to move the ball into Jacksonville territory. They've got 3 receivers on the right side. They've got Robinson in the back. He gets the handoff straight ahead for a few.
Nice job by Michael Miles, the sophomore linebacker for Jacksonville. And Cash Bearden also coming up.
Got to give a quick shout out to Rebecca and Wayne McHenry. Rebecca listening in tonight. She says she's got the Astros in one ear and the Fighting Indians in the other. Always knew she was talented. Two receivers to the right, 1 to the left of the formation for the Pirates. They'll hand this one off. The stretch play to the left side goes to Robinson, and he's into Jacksonville territory over the 45. Kennedy with a stop.
Carson Shoemaker had initial contact for Jacksonville, and he just couldn't wrap up Robinson, and then Coda comes in, finishes him off. But so it's a 3rd down and 3 now for Pine Tree as they push the ball into Jacksonville territory to the Fighting Indian 46. Get a stop here, 3rd and 3. If you're Jacksonville's defense, can you get off the field?
Already done it twice. 2 receivers right, 1 left now. Man in motion from the left to the right. And there's a flag that flies almost immediately here. That's got to be procedure, you would think, against the Pirates.
Boy, Jacksonville just ate that up. Boy, I'm telling you, it was Hinton coming in first. Then Bearden comes up, Coda Kennedy. As Jacksonville just blew that play up right there. Let's see what the call is. It's going to be procedure on Pine Tree. The umpteenth procedure call. Jacksonville, of course, will decline it. And that makes it 4th down. Whoop, my bad. 4th down, 5 to go. As Alexis just kind of shakes up my spine there running into me. He's only 305 pounds.
Keep your head on a swivel, partner.
Yes. So Pine Tree keeps their offense on the field on 4th down. Or is it 3rd down? Now, Jacksonville declined the penalty, right? Yeah, they did. It's 4th down. Quit looking at the scoreboard, Matt. Look at the chains. That scoreboard is wrong. It is 4th down. Timeout.
So now timeout taken.
Pine Tree.
We'll take the short break with them and come back. You're listening to Fighting Indian Football on JHS-Sports.com.
Gene Brumlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
And we're back live here in Longview as Jacksonville looks to make a big 4th down stop for their 3rd defensive stop already in the ball game. Cates throws to the left side. It's caught, and that is good to move the chains.
Just a quick out route right there. You're just trying to get the first down. It's almost like a running play. I mean, snap, turn, throw, catch, first down. So Pine Tree on 4th down, they get the conversion, and that'll push the football to the Jacksonville 41-yard line. It's hard to believe this is what Jacksonville's had 2 possessions. Pine Tree's only had 3. Kind of a slow moving game. It doesn't have that pace that we've seen in past games, does it? Everybody's taking their time coming out and getting ready.
Oh, we talked about Pine Tree coming into the ball game averaging 15 points. Maybe this is why. 2 receivers right, 1 left. The handoff, though, straight ahead.
Well, I can't say enough about, excuse me, Aaron, I can't say enough about Jacksonville's defensive line. They are just, we got an injured Jacksonville player here. Got caught up in the mix master. So as they attend to him, why don't we take a break?
Yeah, we'll step away. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
Community is not just a place. It's not just people who live nearby or the name on a city limit sign. No, community is pride. It's support. It's showing up when you're needed without being asked. Community is knowing that you're not alone. It's sharing burdens and successes. Community is beautiful, and community is strong. We've been a community bank for over 100 years, and we've never been more proud to be a part of this community. Austin Bank.
And we're back live here at Pirate Stadium in Longview as the injured Fighting Indian being helped off. I believe that's Raphael Foy, Matt.
Yeah, he's coming off with some help by the coaching staff as it looks like he rolled his ankle there. And we'll see if he can get that wrapped up and back in, but he's walking off pretty gingerly right now. Had his first start last week against Crandall, played a heck of a ball game. He'll come off the field.
So back to play here, 2nd down and 9 for the Pirates. As Cates drops back to throw, he's going to load up and fire deep down the left side. Overthrows everybody, though, incomplete.
Yeah, good coverage downfield by Cash Bearden. I mean, he is all over Jonathan Fuller tonight on that deep ball. They already knocked one away in the end zone. Of course, Fuller's had some underneath catches. As Jaden Boyd will check out of the ball game, Carson Shoemaker will check in for Jaden at linebacker, and incomplete 3rd down and 9. So let's see if Jacksonville defensively can get a stop here. And of course, the ball's right at the Jacksonville 40, a great place to get a stop.
See if they can put some pressure on Cates, who you would think would be throwing here. They're going to move a receiver from the left to the right as Pine Tree. Now this is a little toss-back reverse. Jacksonville was not able to stay home, and just like that, Pine Tree down all the way to the Fighting Indian 5.
Man, I really thought the receiver that was coming in motion did that Canadian Football League thing. He started turning up the field before the ball was snapped, no call, and actually Cates fumbled the snap, and it was a bad handoff. And, boy, Robinson just took that ball, and the bad handoff actually froze Jacksonville's defense. They were like, what happened? Where's the ball? Is it on the ground? And then here comes Robinson around the edge. 1st and goal for Pine Tree.
So now Pine Tree knocking on the door after it looked like Jacksonville was set to make their 3rd straight defensive stop. This time the handoff is to Robinson. He tries to stretch the play to the left side. Jacksonville having none of it.
Nice play by that right side of the defense for Jacksonville as Caden Franklin slid down the line. Made a nice play. Carson Shoemaker there as well. Hinton did a nice job getting off the block, did Hinton, and stretching that play out before so he could get some help from Carson Shoemaker, the Jacksonville linebacker. So 2nd and goal. The ball is just inside the Jacksonville 5-yard line.
Trips right go the receivers for the Pirates. One back is Robinson, and he's going to get the handoff and run right up the middle, and he'll score.
Yeah, just power blocking that time by Pine Tree and Jacksonville. It had good penetration right there, but you know what? Actually, I think Jacksonville penetrated too much. They went straight up the field, and Robinson went right by them. Knifing through for the 5-yard score. Pine Tree 6, Jacksonville 3 with the extra point to come. Boy, a couple of plays just didn't go Jacksonville's way. They had a 4th down conversion, did Pine Tree, and they make Jacksonville pay.
So now the extra point on the way is brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee, and it is good. So with 8:09 to go here in the first half, the score now, Pine Tree 7, Jacksonville 3. We'll take a break and be right back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
Special thanks to the Jacksonville Education Foundation for everything that they do for Jacksonville teachers and students. For more information, please visit jisdfoundation.org.
And we're back live here at Pirates Stadium in Longview, where the home team has just taken the lead. Now up on Jacksonville 7-3. Todd, you got the Pine Tree scoring drive summary? It's Todd Travis.
That was a 67-yard drive for Pine Tree.
Dr. Darwin Darr and his staff at Darr Chiropractic specialize.
7-3.
They had a 3rd down and long conversion and a 4th down conversion to get that too. So Jacksonville just defensively just so close to getting off the field, but they give up the score. Devin McEwen and Jermaine Taylor deep for Jacksonville.
Plenty of time here left in the first half if you're Jacksonville. This high kickoff fielded and taken out to about the Jacksonville 35. So best starting field position of the game so far.
Yep. Skylar Whitaker, they're doing a nice job not letting that ball hit the ground, coming up and fielding it on the fly. As you can tell that Pine Tree has been instructed, their kicker, their punter, do not kick it deep to number 14 for Jacksonville. He just kind of popped that up. That's when you slip Devin up there and kind of slip him up into one of those positions up front, then maybe they won't see it. So here's Jacksonville, as you said, with their best field position or their 3rd offensive possession of the night. Isn't that right? The 3rd one, they're starting at their 35.
That's it. McCowan looking left to the slot,
Walker.
complete, got Walker. Walker out near the sticks. Did he lose the football mat, or did it look
Jacksonville
like,
got it.
Okay,
McEwen.
yeah, he's back on it. So, yeah, it looked like.
Well, McEwen made the recovery. Walker got popped. I mean, he put his head down like we've seen him do so well, and somebody put a helmet for Pine Tree on that football and popped it up. Took a nice Sunday hop, and there's Devin McEwen to make the recovery, pick up a 4. He had about 8 on the play, lost 2 on the fumble, so 2nd 6.
So 7:24 and counting. McCowan rolling to his right, still looking for somebody. Now just going to fling it downfield in the direction of Taylor. Did he?
I think Jacksonville may have had somebody downfield right there.
Yeah.
Ryan was moving the pocket, and you can't go more than 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, and maybe one of those Jacksonville linemen. Yeah, that's what it is.
That's the call.
Yep, drifted downfield. You could just see there's actually about 3 of them that did. So when those RPOs like that, and that wasn't really an RPO because it wasn't much of a fake handoff. That wasn't an option, I should say. The linemen still have to watch that. They still have to stay in that 3-yard radius right there as Ryan strung that play out looking for receivers. So the big penalty pushes it back. So it's 2nd down, and we'll call it 12. Football at the Jacksonville 34.
2 receivers right, 1 left. Pine Tree showing blitz. McCowan loads up, looks over the middle. He's got Taylor. He's got lots of room to run. He's inside the 20, the 15, 10 to the 5. Finally knocked down, but not before he picks up a gigantic Bill McCray Ford 1st down.
Great patience shown by Ryan McCowan, just staying in the pocket and waiting for Jermaine Taylor to clear that free safety. And once Taylor was able to see, he could see it. He anticipated it, Ryan. He flickered it out there, buddy. I mean, just flicked his wrist and perfect throw, and Taylor gets it to the 5. First and goal, Jacksonville. Nice throw and catch downfield. You'd think Jacksonville, man, you can do that all night. They have 3 sophomore defensive backs back there, Aaron.
Yeah, so Jacksonville poised to.
Timeout, Pine Tree.
The timeout is taking Jacksonville poised to take the lead here, Matt. Then, of course, remember, Jacksonville lost the toss, but Jason Holman did say he wanted the ball to begin the second half. So, boy, what a momentum swing that could be.
Yeah, you get a score right here. The defense comes on the field, gets a stop. I don't know how much time that would take off right there. Most important thing here is don't make a mistake. Don't get one of those procedure penalties, motion penalties. You know, that's what's been shooting Jacksonville in the foot in the first 3 ball games is that, you know, they have a big play and then they take a step back with some kind of simple mistake like an offsides or a procedure or something like that. So take advantage of this right here and get the score. You know, coming in the ball game, Jason Holman felt like that he could throw deep with his weapons against a young, again, 3 sophomores starting back there in the secondary for Pine Tree. You'd think you'd pick on those guys, right? So Jacksonville comes out with the Beast package, or it's going to be it may just be the Wildcat. No, it's the Beast package with Jaden's going to take this snap right here. So it's mono on mono, man on man. As Jacksonville's going to try to win this battle up front and push it in.
So Jaden Boyd was frustrated after the procedure the first time we saw the Beast package. We'll see if Jacksonville can hold their water, as you'd say, Matt. And there's the snap to Boyd, and straight ahead he goes. And that is a touchdown.
8 yards out. The big fella, 240 pounds of Jaden Boyd coming right at you. Nice blocking by that Beast package by Jacksonville. And well, I'll tell you what, you know, it's nice to block for a 240-pounder because all you got to do is get a couple of chips on your guy, and he gets that forward momentum, plants his feet, boom, in the end zone from 8. Here's Jesus, who has a 30-yard field goal to try to put this 10th point of the game Ryan McCown will hold.
So the extra point attempt brought to you by Neighbors Coffee is up and good. 6:36 to go here in the first half. The score now, Jacksonville 10, Pine Tree 7. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-Sports.com.
As ETMC joins the UT Health family, we're bringing a new vision of healthcare to East Texas, where the brightest minds in academics and medicine work together to treat the most complex health challenges and improve lives, where access to world-class medicine and cutting-edge technology will bring health, hope, and a brighter tomorrow. We are UT Health East Texas, advancing healthcare together.
When life throws you a curveball, give it to the guy who can knock it out of the park.
And a high drive to right, sending Ludwig back. It's gone! Micah Hoffpower.
Call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau for all of your life, auto, and home insurance needs.
And we're back where Jacksonville has just retaken the lead here at Pirate Stadium thanks to Jaden Boyd and the Beast package. And Ryan Travis has a replay keyed up here. And this is just 8 yards of hard running. And, Matt, there's not much of a way to stop that.
8 yards of pain.
Yeah.
Now let's see if Jacksonville can do a better job covering the kickoff. They've given Pine Tree some sheepies here.
Yeah, this one's popped up to the far side. Live ball hits the turf, picked up by Pine Tree, but Jacksonville needs to cover up and make the tackle. They do.
Oh, easy. How about that?
So Jacksonville trying to steal one there.
Thad Hoffpower getting a little bit of tug of war, outweighed by Devin Washington, only by about 50, 60 pounds, and he kind of held his own against him. Did Thad. Nice job by that junior. So Pine Tree gets the football at their own 33. Jacksonville with their best coverage. A nice pop-up kick there by Jordan Cabrera. Had a little bit of a backspin, like like your 9-iron on that, trying to get on the green, Aaron.
Yeah, my problem is it never actually does that when I want it to. So Pine Tree back to work. 2 receivers on the left side of the shotgun set, 1 on the right. The handoff is to Robinson, a stretch play to the right. And not much. Jacksonville doing a nice job not letting him go side to side.
Yeah, Jacksonville just throwing bodies in there. I mean, that's what you want to see. Just get in there and just wreck it. And Hinton did it, just sacrificed himself. And then Coda comes up behind him. And what a nice job there also by number 62, Dominic Bowens, who was injured in practice this week. Wasn't sure he was going to be able to play. Had a contusion on his ankle, and, man, he's fighting through it and did a nice job there wrecking that play with Hinton.
So now down under 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Second down and 7 after the short gain of 3. As Cates takes the snap, fakes a handoff, throws over the middle, it's picked off.
It's Devin.
And Devin will not be stopped. Pick 6.
42 yards, and there's a late flag here. What is this? This is going to be a celebration penalty on Jacksonville, but it's a score.
Yeah.
Jacksonville with a pick 6. Their second interception of the year, and Devin McEwen runs it in from 42 yards.
Hey, Matt, how many times this year have we said, just get Devin McEwen the ball? Hey, he'll take it from the other team. He doesn't care how he gets it.
Wow. Jason Holman is wanting to know the flag here. And he's getting the explanation. And you know, your players – Jacksonville had 20-something players leave the bench area and run to the end zone. You can't do that. That's a penalty. They're going to call it every time. But they'll penalize that on the kickoff, I believe. So here's Jesus Nunez to try to tack on point number 17 after the pick 6 by the senior, Devin McEwen.
So the extra point is brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee. This one is on the way and good. So with 5:37 to go now in the first half, the score, Jacksonville 17, Pine Tree 7. We'll take a short break. Come back for more Fighting Indian football on JHS-sports.com.
150 years. A lot happens to a town in that amount of time. And that's reason to celebrate. Join us Saturday, October 22nd, and invite your friends, family, and neighbors to come home, come downtown, and come together to celebrate Jacksonville's 150th birthday.
For the past 40 years, Swink Studio of Dance in Jacksonville has provided instruction in classical ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, and contemporary dance styles for students age 4 through high school. Select classes for adults and award-winning competition teams are also available. For more information or to enroll a student, contact the studio today and let's dance. And we're back live at Pirates Stadium where Jacksonville has extended their lead to 17-7 after the Devin McEwen pick 6. This short kickoff fielded cleanly on the far side. Now Jacksonville got to make a tackle again. Boy, they've just struggled, Matt, covering the kickoff, but able to knock the return man down at the 45. But, hey, how about Devin McEwen?
Oh, wow, just stepped right in front of it. It was a slant play to Fuller. And Cates just locked in on the big senior, Jonathan Fuller. And Devin McEwen from his free safety position stepped right in front of it, jumped the route, and it just made a heck of a run down the sideline. They had a couple of angles on him, and he turned on the jets, and that's why he has like 12, 13 offers from Division I schools because of that 4.4, 4.5 speed he's got. And, man, he went right down the sideline for the 42-yard pick 6.
Yeah, Jacksonville getting a little break there as their holding penalty went against Pine Tree on the kickoff return.
Yeah.
So that'll back it up. So Cates and the Pirates right back to work, and he'll hand it off to Robinson.
Check that's another running back.
We'll check that at it. We'll get the number.
I think that's Keyshawn Bowie, a sophomore, number 16. No, Jordan Taylor. He's a sophomore. Well, he just called him Hunter. I can't see his number. He's so short. Let's 16. See. Is that a 10 or 16?
16 on our roster is Jordan Taylor, but
the PA announcer called him somebody else, but we're going to call him Jordan Taylor.
So now 2 receivers right, 1 left for Cates and the Pirates. And the handoff again to number 16. I believe that's Taylor as he makes his way into Jacksonville territory. Finally knocked down, but not until he gets all the way down to the 37-yard line for a huge first down.
Yeah, that's a weight room run right there. I mean, that is pure weight room. He took about 3 Jacksonville Indians about 15 yards up the field, keeping his feet moving, churning, and Jacksonville physically trying to tackle him up high. You can't do that on a guy like that. He's low to the ground, low center of gravity. He gets it in Jacksonville territory to the 37 of the Fighting Indians, first down.
So Jacksonville with a lot of the momentum, but Pine Tree knocking on the door again. This time, though, stretch play to the left side. He gets by 1 tackler and down to about the 32 as Jacksonville had an opportunity there to hold that run to not do much damage. But
Trent Powell coming up from his safety position. You know, he had 11 tackles against Sulphur Springs, and he's missed most of this week in practice. He's been sick, and he just got cleared to play today. Unable to bring him down, him and Caden Franklin. So pick up a 5 for Robinson.
So now man in motion from the left to the right. Cates, straight handoff again. This time nice. Jacksonville doing a much better job filling the hole.
Nice job as Carson Shoemaker will check into the ballgame at linebacker for Jaden Boyd. I like the substitution pattern that Jacksonville has. They keep trying to keep guys fresh like Jaden Boyd.
3rd down and 5.
Yep.
You can hear the chant on the Jacksonville sideline as RTB row the boat, looking for this big stop. 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left, 1 back. Jacksonville showing some pressure from the linebackers. Cates rolls right, throws high.
Yeah.
And knocked away.
Nice play by Johnson. John Johnson of Jacksonville anticipating that. Thought the quarterback there for Matt Cates just took a little bit too long to throw that football. If he throws it quicker, I mean, Johnson for Jacksonville, great response right there. 4th down, 5. Pine Tree will keep their offense on the field.
Yeah, for a split second, the way John Johnson jumped in front of that, it looked as though that might be another pick 6.
Could have been. So 4th and 5. Can you get off the field here? Stop this conversion.
So the Jacksonville defense looking to bring pressure to Cates, and they do.
That's the Caden Franklin with the sack.
Down he goes. Jacksonville takes over.
And it wasn't just Caden Franklin there who got the tackle, but Zadarius Hinton got there first, got a hand on the quarterback, Cates of Pine Tree, and then comes Caden Franklin and just totaled him. I mean, if it was an insurance company that claim we're going to total this car, I mean, just blew him up. So Jacksonville gets the stop on 4th down as we have an injured Jacksonville player on the field. Let's see who that is.
And it looks like he'll be getting a little bit of attention, but now he's up.
Dakota Martinez.
And Dakota making his way off under his own power.
I mean, I say this every now and then, isn't that a cool Dakota Martinez? What a cool name. How about that?
Yeah, we've had some good football names.
Pretty good football names, man. So Dakota comes off under his own power, and Jacksonville will take over with 2:47 remaining in this first half, leading 17-7. Jacksonville has all 3 timeouts to Pine Tree's 1 remaining in this first half. So you got time to work the clock here. You can use your timeouts, milk it down, and try to work your way in for a score of some kind. Touchdown, field goal. Hey, just get the points. Then you get the ball to start the second half.
So McCowan going to hand off.
Oh!
And a little second effort there, Matt. Surprised you, surprised me as well.
Well, Joellen looked like that thing was dead to rights. I mean, he was in the backfield wrapped up. He paused. He was patient. He waited. And as soon as the Pine Tree defensive line just kind of went by him, he just knifed up in there. I really like the way Joellen Kennedy is running the football, the senior. A play that should have been stopped at the line. He picks up 6, 2nd and 4.
We'll go down under 2 minutes when the ball is snapped on this second down play. Handoff this time is
McCown gets the
faked
first down.
McCowan kept it, slid down after picking up the Bill McRae Ford first down.
Wait a minute. No, he didn't. Yeah, the official's saying, wait a minute.
Well, they're not.
Ryan slid just a little bit too early right there.
That or he didn't get a great spot. I'm not sure which.
Yeah. I mean, I thought he started his slide a little bit too soon right there, but when he did, he went straight down. It wasn't much of a slide because he only took 2 steps before he started sliding. So third down.
So this time, handoff is to Kennedy. He's got the Bill McRae Ford first down and more as he spins his way into Pirate territory.
Oh, man. Nice run by Jawalen. He's going to check out because he got absolutely crushed on that tackle by Dalen Evans, the A&M commit. 260 pounds, came across the field. And just as Kennedy was making that spin move to get more yardage, he just laid on him with force. First down, Jacksonville, the 42 of Pine Tree.
So a little bit of a high snap. A flag comes in. And procedure against Jacksonville. Stop us if you've heard that before.
Oh, my goodness. I think it's the 4th one. At least 4 in this first half. And was it, I think it was. I think it was Jermaine. I think he was sprinting off that line again. He was looking at the sideline going, man, my bad.
Well, we did. We gave him credit for the way he fired off the line earlier, and now he's just a little quick. But now McCowan going to load up and fire.
Oh, no. Right in the breadbasket.
Yeah,
Jermaine.
that's a drop.
Oh, what a throw by Ryan McCowan. I mean, he threaded the needle, had pressure coming, threw a laser right into the breadbasket of Jermaine Taylor. Incomplete, second down 15. Stops the clock with 1:12 on the incompletion. You want to get points out of this. You're up 10.
And you're also getting the ball, so chance to really keep momentum.
Yeah. Keep your foot on the pedal here. So Jaden Boyd checks in at running back beside McCowan.
McCowan going to drop back, going to have some time. Rolls left, throws incomplete.
Almost like Ryan was throwing that ball away. And McEwen had those toes on that sideline, and he was stretching like he was going to try to make that catch, but no chance. So third down 15. It's the Jacksonville offense having a rough 4 downs right here. Well, it's third down.
So conversion here would keep Jacksonville in business and an opportunity to, as we said, really grab momentum in the ball game. As McCowan drops back, loads up, and it's caught.
McEwen.
Big Bill McRae Ford first down.
What did he say? He say he was out?
They're going to say he stepped out.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Gosh.
Well, it's on the far end of the side, on the other side. I saw him make the catch, and official came right in and waved it off. So the Indians are going to not get an opportunity there to get more points on the board as Skylar Whitaker will check in here with 1:03 remaining. In the first half, he'll punt the football and play a little field position here. As the Pirates have 1 timeout remaining in the first half to work with when they get the ball back on this punt.
See if Whitaker can pin the Pirates here.
Nice.
This is high end over end. It's going to hit and roll nicely down inside the 10.
Good job, Skylar.
And be downed. Looks like about the 8. So, yeah, Whitaker with a great one there.
He just had a nice height on it. Jacksonville had good coverage. Didn't give anybody an opportunity to scoop it up. You know, you see that a lot now. You see guys kind of possuming back there and kind of letting it fall, and they're going to run in there and scoop it up. But Jacksonville had just surrounded the ball. So 51 seconds here. Find Fuller, the 6'3 receiver for Pine Tree. Make sure you know where he is, as Pine Tree will start this drive at their own 5.
They'll have 2 receivers split out far to the right side. Will Pine Tree, this is just going to be a handoff straight ahead and nothing doing.
So Jason Holman has those timeouts in his hip pocket here with 38 seconds and doesn't look like he's going to use those right here and give Pine Tree an opportunity. Just run the clock out, take the 10-point lead at the half. You get the ball back. Fans, stay with us. We'll have our All Smiles halftime interview with head coach Jason Holman, get his thoughts on this 17-7 lead by Jacksonville. As Pine Tree comes to the line of scrimmage with 15 seconds and counting.
So Cates claps for the ball. It's a low snap. He's able to pick it up, hand it off. Runner's still on his feet. Matt, of course, you're calling. We can hear you there. It looks like Cates' knee went down.
It was down. They didn't call it. I mean, he dropped the snap and went down and picked it up, and they didn't call it. Wow.
So the clock will stop when the chains are moved. They're reset, though, and that'll run us down to the half. So after 2 quarters of play, the score, Jacksonville 17 and Pine Tree 7. Matt, we'll send it down to you, let you catch up with head coach Jason Holman.
Yeah, he's de-micing right now. We'll get his comments here. Well, Coach, you got, a very efficient first half. You got some plays. You got the defensive score right there. Now you get the ball to start the second half. Kind of wanted to get some points right there, though, maybe to finish it off. But, man, your team's really tackling well.
Well, certainly one of the cleaner halves we've played. Taking care of the football. We're ahead in the turnover game for first time in a while. So, very pleased with that.
Stop the procedure penalties, though.
We need to stop that. We've got to get a handle on our receivers watching the ball, not taking off early.
I think your secondary, and I know you coach the safeties, and they're doing a heck of a job on Fuller.
Well, he's good. He's a deep threat, certainly, and we're being very cautious about when we show press, when we don't, and things of that nature. So there's certain times we're going to have to take chances just based on percentages, but kids are doing a great job thus far, yes.
Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
Head coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles halftime report. Aaron, Jacksonville band getting ready to perform along with the Cherokee Charmers. We'll keep it here after. We'll take a break, and we'll come back and we'll catch them on the other side.
All right, sounds good, Matt. We'll step away shortly and then be back for more from halftime here on JHS-sports.com.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better. Since 1953, Huber Glass Oil has been serving East Texans the finest automotive fuels and lubricants. Huber Glass Oil Company, the clear solution for your business. When life throws you a curveball, give it to the guy who can knock it out of the park.
A high drive to right, sending Ludwig back. It's gone! Micah Hoffpower.
Call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau for all of your life, auto, and home insurance needs.
We're at halftime at Pirate Stadium. It's homecoming tonight in Longview as the Jacksonville Fighting Indians leading the Pine Tree Pirates by a score of 17-7. The Cherokee Charmers on the field right now for their halftime performance. Let's take a look and listen in.
Watch now as the Charmers perform an upbeat, get on your feet, calm routine to turn it up.
Cherokee Charmers performing here at halftime at Pine Tree Stadium in Longview. As the Pirates celebrating homecoming tonight, Jacksonville with a 17-7 lead. Let's listen in the introduction of the officers. They've already introduced them. Excuse me, that was Laura Guidry, the director of the Cherokee Charmers. Tiffany Alexander assisting her. Now the Jacksonville Twirlers will perform here at halftime.
And now, introducing the Jacksonville Indian Majorettes, directed by Brianne G. Further officers for 2022-23 are Junior Lieutenant Natalie Joseph, Senior Lieutenant Janiyah Swindell, First Lieutenant Ellie Berry, and Captain Lauren Gluck. Twirler of the week is Logan Pontonet. Watch now as the twirlers perform an impressive 3-baton routine to Good For You.
The Jacksonville Twirlers performing here at halftime at Pirate Stadium. Twirlers under the direction of Brianne G. Nice performance as the JHS band, who's been playing for the Charmers, and the Twirlers now will have their halftime performance.
JISD is proud to present the Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band. The band is under the field direction of Junior Drum Major Brennan Hyde, Senior Drum Majors James Scruggs and Camden Fontenot, and Head Drum Major Sarah McComb. Tonight, the band will perform to August Van and the Attorney General March.
You're watching the Whataburger halftime show by the Jacksonville High School Band. Stay tuned for statistics in a few minutes with the guys Statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham CPA. For all your accounting needs, go to Randy Gorham CPA since 1984. Now, let's listen in to the Jacksonville High School Band.
Indian Band under the direction of Donnie Barrier, Preston Parker, Preston Long, Catherine Barrier, Kim Beard, and Brianne G. Freshman of the week is Ian Blankenship. Band members of the week are Oliver Cummey and Maite Otero. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band.
Another great halftime performance by the Jacksonville High School Band. Cherokee Charmers, Jacksonville Twirlers. Jacksonville leading Pine Tree 17-7 at the half. Guys, I'm going to toss it back up to you in the booth for the Randy Gorham halftime statistics and other things. I'm going to take a little break. I'll be right back.
Thanks very much, Matt. We are back here in the booth. You are listening to the Halftime Report brought to you by Whataburger. This reminder that if you make the order, our friends at Whataburger will make it fresh. Well, speaking of fresh and new, Todd Travis, how about a halftime lead for the Fighting Indians?
How about
here
that,
in
Aaron?
2022?
17-7, huh?
So Jacksonville jumping out to that early lead, the field goal from Nunez, but a big part of that, the defense, Todd. And let's start breaking this down by the numbers, shall we?
First half offense for the Indians, we finished with 23 plays for 196 yards, with 140 yards passing and 56 yards rushing. We had 7 first downs in the first half, with 3 of those on rushing plays and 4 on passing. Some individual stats. Quarterback Ryan McCallum had 6 completions on 12 attempts for 140 yards. Receiving tonight, Jermaine Taylor, 3 catches for 81. Ryan Walker, 2 catches for 42 yards. And Devin McEwen, 1 catch for 17. Rushing for the first half, DeQuaylen Kennedy, 7 carries for 34 yards. McCallum had 2 carries for 13. And Jaden Boyd, 2 carries for 9. But he had the 1 8-yard carry for a touchdown.
Yeah, of course, that was the Beast package that we got to see him make his impact with last week. And we've been talking, Ryan Travis, about that Beast package and how if you're Jacksonville and you're anywhere inside 10 yards for the line to gain or 10 yards from the goal line, you got to consider that Beast package.
Yeah, the Beast package has been really good so far for Jacksonville this season. You're able to punch that touchdown in, but it would have been interesting to see the first Beast package that we had brought out on the field, and if it wasn't for that penalty,
looking for the first down on that play, and one of many procedure penalties that did bite Jacksonville a little bit in the first half, but also procedure penalties have not been favorable to the Pirates either, as Matt alluded to. Ryan, the officials just seem to call every little bit of movement that they thought they saw down there.
There have been a lot of penalties so far in this game.
Yeah, and so there hasn't been much of a flow yet, and you kind of alluded to that, Todd, with Pine Tree coming into the ball game averaging 15 points a game, that maybe they were I won't say comfortable with it, but it kind of fit into their MO. You got to think if Jacksonville can get the ball and get some more sustained drives, they could really run away and hide with this thing.
I think so. We had several good drives there where our first one was a really nice start, 9 plays. Even though we finished with a field goal instead of a touchdown, we did put points on the board and got off to a very positive start.
Yeah, I mean, I think again you're seeing positives for this offense. You're seeing the balance, and we kind of come back to that. But it's nice to be able to do that. You talked about how many first downs we picked up on the ground versus how many we picked up through the air, and it's just about even. And but then the little bit of I guess extra the gravy or the cherry on top, if you will, Ryan. I've had pick 6.
Yeah, the pick 6 was a huge play. And, Jacksonville had gone down and scored right before that and take the lead back from Pine Tree. And then to able to go into halftime with a 10-point lead with that interception was huge.
Yeah. And, we talk about momentum in sports in general, but in high school football all the time, because you're dealing with young athletes, with just emotions that can get up and down depending on situations. We heard Matt talking in the pregame about a conversation that he had with Coda Kennedy about how Coda's kind of had to learn and grow into some of that stuff. And so with all that, you can really have big momentum swings in a high school football game. And knowing that Jacksonville lost the toss and is going to be getting, they were going to be getting the ball to begin the second half, I don't think you can understate how big that pick six was, because now you're talking about a potential of going from what's a 2-score game now to a 3-score game by the next time Pine Tree touches the ball, if Jacksonville's able to ride that wave.
Yeah, for sure. And, one thing that we kind of harp on every week is the turnover battle. And we haven't had a lot of those. It seems like Jacksonville the first several games has lost the turnover battle. And to turn a turnover into points is huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be +1 in the turnover column, but, when you're plus 7 points, it's even better. And you're right, Ryan. We came in. We heard Coach Holman refer to this in smoke signals. It came in -6 in the turnover battle. And so, it is huge for, we talk about extra possessions. Yeah, those are great. But, hey, if you can just take the interception in and go ahead and put the points on the board, you'll take it. And, Devin McEwen able to do that. John Johnson almost jumping a route and taking one to the house as well, as he was able to knock a pass down, but he took advantage, did Johnson, of that sophomore quarterback Cates just being a little slow to get the ball out of his hand. And you have another mistake like that, and who knows? Jacksonville could run away and hide, as we said earlier. But hey, you just want to do the next right thing, make the next big play, or make the next right play if you're Jacksonville. But Todd, you've got to feel like we're on the right track to do that. Let's take a look, if we can, at the Pine Tree stats for the first half.
Pine Tree finished the first half with 29 plays on offense for 155 yards, with 36 yards passing and 119 yards rushing.
Yeah, obviously with a sophomore at quarterback in Cates, a guy who did not start the season, they are looking to their run game a little bit more. But when you've got a guy like Jalen Robinson, it's not a bad position to be in, as you can see from sort of again, talking about balance, but sort of the imbalance in their numbers, that they're gonna want to, Ryan, they're gonna want to rely on him. But if Jacksonville can continue to extend this lead, they may get to a situation here pretty quickly where you can't run the ball as much as you want to if you're Pine Tree, and that's a great position for the Jacksonville defense to be in as well.
Yeah, I think probably Pine Tree, when you're looking at a game against Jacksonville, the run offense is probably one of the focuses that you have, because Jacksonville has been so poor in that area of the game. We struggled tackling. We talk about that almost every week, it seems like. And Jacksonville doing a better job tonight, but the running back's still doing a really good job of breaking some of those tackles and getting the big run.
Yeah. And, we talked about Jacksonville's tackling improving considerably, though, last week against Crandall. And really then we, kind of look at that. You say, okay, tackling is improving. So where's the weakness now, or where's maybe the biggest need for improvement? And it's really in that secondary. So it's a little bit surprising that Cates hadn't put it up a few more times, especially when he's got a guy like Jonathan Fuller. Now, all that being said, if you're Jacksonville, you've got to keep your eyes on Jonathan Fuller, because he could come out and make me eat my words, because we know he's a big deep ball threat. Obviously, we heard Jason Holman, head coach Jason Holman, mention that in his halftime interview as well. So Jacksonville definitely needs to keep their head on a swivel as far as the secondary is concerned. But as it stands at halftime, pretty happy if you're a Fighting Indian fan who made the trip over to Longview. As Jacksonville's up by a score of 17-7 here in Week 4. Both Jacksonville and Pine Tree looking for their first win of the 2022 season. Todd, thanks again for bringing us the halftime stats. Halftime stats brought to you by Randy Gorham. A reminder that Randy is your hometown CPA in Jacksonville. He has been since 1984. Randy also currently serves as the mayor of the city of Jacksonville, and he and the rest of the city leadership getting ready with the rest of us to celebrate Jacksonville's 150th birthday. If you've paid attention the last few weeks, you've seen the great commercial that our own Ryan Travis provided the voiceover for the celebration that's coming up. That's on October the 22nd in downtown Jacksonville. So thanks again to Randy for his sponsorship of Jacksonville football, his leadership, and all the great things he's done for the city of Jacksonville over his time as mayor. We are very pleased to call him a friend and get to work with Randy. So thanks again to him and to our friends at Whataburger. This is the halftime report sponsored by Whataburger. This reminder, if you make your order, our friends at Whataburger will make it fresh, including the Whataburger and fries that Ryan Travis has now added to our halftime graphic. And now,
you like those?
Now I'm really hungry, so I'm probably going to stop at Whataburger on the way home. So thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. Sounds like a good idea.
That's fantastic. That's between Whataburger ads, Legends ads, and Dairy Queen. Boy, I'll tell you what, it's hard not to be hungry doing these ball games. But hey, we appreciate all of our sponsors and all of our fans for being with us as well. To follow the Fighting Indians here on JHS-sports.com. Hey, Ryan, let's take a short break, and we'll come back and get ready for the kickoff of the second half. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
As ETMC joins the UT Health family, we're bringing a new vision of healthcare to East Texas, where the brightest minds in academics and medicine work together to treat the most complex health challenges and improve lives, where access to world-class medicine and cutting-edge technology will bring health, hope, and a brighter tomorrow. We are UT Health East Texas, advancing healthcare together.
Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
Dr. Folden, Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
When life throws you a curveball, give it to the guy who can knock it out of the park.
A high drive to right, sending Ludwig back. It's gone! Micah Hoffpower.
Call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau for all of your life, auto, and home insurance needs.
And we're back live at Pirates Stadium in Longview as the Tribe makes their way out of the run-through, getting ready for second half action. We'll welcome back Matt Montgomery.
Guys,
back from his break, Matt.
I said it to you in the break. That was the weirdest halftime show I've ever seen.
Yeah, we didn't even have an opportunity to comment on the Pine Tree Band.
I felt like I was in a hazy dream after eating a bunch of pickles. I mean, there's just really weird. I don't know what they were doing. It's crazy.
That is such a strange expression.
Yes.
Not as strange as the halftime show.
That was even stranger.
I guess not.
I don't know what the crayons were for, but cute, but confusing.
They were coloring the field.
Hey, there's some scores here. Let me throw at you guys. Texas High leading Tyler Legacy 27-3. Sulphur Springs over Van Alstyne 35-15. Crandall, who Jacksonville played last week, they're down 37-7 at the half to Melissa. Russ trailing 17-14 at the half to Alvarado. Carthage over Marshall at the half 35-0. Wow. Longview just putting it on Lufkin 35-7. And Gilmer and Lindale tied at the half 16 all. How about that? All right, guys, we're ready for the kickoff as Pine Tree will be kicking off to Jacksonville, leading 17-7 is Jacksonville. They'll get the ball first here. And, man, this is what you want to do. And this is why Jason Holman said, I'm glad I lost the flip because I get to start the second half with a football. So Jacksonville with 190 yards of offense in the first half on 23 plays. They sure would like to add to that here starting on this opening drive right here. Devin McHugh and Jermaine Tedder back deep. as we're set to go for the second half of play. Jacksonville, Pine Tree. Indians up 10, 17-7 with your play-by-play. Here's Aaron Swing.
Glad you're back with us for the second half as we get set to go. This one popped up short to the near side. Fair catch. No, check that as the
Scholar
return is made by Whitaker, a short one.
Well, they're picking on Scholar. They're kicking it right to him, and he's doing a nice job getting the ball and getting up the field. Gives Jacksonville decent field position to start this second half of play at the Fighting Indian 31-yard line. So you hear Coach Holman behind me, heading the game. Let's go to work. So Joellen Kennedy will join Ryan McCown in the backfield.
Of course, the son of Randy.
Yep. Ryan Walker at the H.
We'll have two receivers on the left side, one on the right. McCown looks to the right, looks for Taylor. He's got him.
Great catch,
and
great throw.
He's got the Bill McCray Ford first down.
13-yard pickup as the chains will move on the Bill McCray Ford first down. As first play of the second half starts nicely for Jacksonville. That'll push the football to the 46 of Jacksonville. I like the way Jermaine Taylor, you shoot your hands. You don't trap that ball. You just shoot your hands out there and you take it at the high point, and he did. First down.
So now man in motion.
Devin.
From McCown, hands off to McEwen on the sweep, and he will battle his way into Pirate territory.
Just another one of those diversification plays, I call them, where you keep the defense guessing. You throw the pass downfield. You got the inside toss to McEwen. Really keeps the defense on their heels guessing as the Indians really starting to diversify their offense.
Matt, you know quite a bit about diversification, don't you?
I sure do.
Two each way, handoff straight ahead.
You don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know all those phrases. Joellen Kennedy with a carry, and he's going to get the first down.
Yeah, he'll pick up the Bill McCray Ford first down. Yeah, most folks know Matt is a registered financial advisor. Diversification is the name of the game.
I'll give you $10 in a minute. Pay you off there.
Just buy me a Blizzard at
there you
South
go.
Jackson Dairy Queen,
I
and
can
we'll
handle that.
Call it even.
You bet. So Jacksonville pushes the ball into Pine Tree territory to the Pirate 44. Big boy.
Now the handoff to Boyd, and he's got all kinds of room to run and rumble down to the 32-yard line for another Bill McCray Ford first down.
You know, he reminds me of Mr. T. You remember Mr. T back in the 80s? You know, he just looked in the camera and he went, pain. That's what Jaden does when he runs the ball. Pain. He dishes it out. So there's Jacksonville's third Bill McCray Ford first down on this drive that started at their own 31, is now all the way down to the Pine Tree 32. Here he comes again.
So now it's Boyd again. He's going to try to stretch around the corner on the left side, and he'll move the pile down to the 26-yard line.
You know, if you think back, when was the last time Jacksonville had a 240-pound running back? Can you remember who that was? Think back.
It would have had to have been in the 90s.
Kevin Aldridge.
I think.
Yeah. And, you know, Kevin went on to play at SMU, had a great career as a defensive end, defensive tackle, and played in the NFL as well. Has his name on the at the Tomato Bowl up in the corridor with all the other former NFL players. Yeah, he was Jaden looks a lot like Kevin running that football.
So now
Kennedy.
The handoff is to Kennedy, and he spins his way into the red zone, down all the way to the Pirate 11 for another Bill McCray Ford first down.
Their fourth one on this drive as Kennedy with that, just what a change of pace from the 240-pound Jaden Boyd to the 150-pound dripping wet Joellen Kennedy. The leading rusher for Jacksonville in 2022 so far, coming in the ballgame with 153 yards through 3 ball games. Adding to that tonight, first down Pine Tree 12.
So now down under 9 minutes here in the third quarter. Handoff is Kennedy again. This time around the left end he goes all the way down this time to the Pirates 6.
Well, I thought he was going to plant that foot and get up the field and maybe cut back, but he decided to try to go to the edge and get the corner, and he was met by Brock Reddick, who's definitely been the defensive player of the game so far for Pine Tree tonight, as the Indians continue to run away from the A&M commit Dalen Evans.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that.
Yeah, that's why he's having such a great game. Jacksonville is running to the left, not to the right.
So now McCowan hands off, and now Jacksonville is in again.
Man, Jalen Boyd, my goodness. 8-yard touchdown run as Boyd just rolled over 3 Pine Tree Pirates. He got hit at the 5, the 3, and the goal line, and man, he just mowed over everyone. Here is Jesus Nunez to try to make it 24-7. Jacksonville, Ryan McCown will hold.
Extra points brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee. This one is up and good. So with 8:09 to go here in the third, our score now, Jacksonville 24, Pine Tree 7. We'll be back for more Fighting Indian football after a short break here on JHS-Sports.com.
For the past 40 years, Swink Studio of Dance in Jacksonville has provided instruction in classical ballet, tap, jazz, hip-hop, and contemporary dance styles for students age 4 through high school. Select classes for adults and award-winning competition teams are also available. For more information or to enroll a student, contact the studio today and let's dance.
Bill McRae Ford has been serving East Texans since 1976. They can help you find the best deal on a used car or if you're ready to purchase something new. Open Monday through Saturday. Bill McRae Ford. Come see us.
And we're back live at Pirates Stadium in Longview, where Jacksonville has extended the lead to 24-7 with another Fighting Indian scoring drive summary. Here's Todd Travis. Todd?
It was an 8-play drive, covered 68 yards, finishing with a touchdown, putting the Indians up 24-7. And a great start to the second half.
Well, this is just a statement running game by Jacksonville. Actually, it started last week against Crandall, running the football with 190 yards rushing in that game. They're really running the ball well tonight against Pine Trees, Jacksonville.
Cabrera's popped up kick, fielded cleanly at the Pirate 30 as return man makes his way out for about 11.
That'll be Amari Gary. It's like his 4th return tonight. Pop up. So, yeah, I mean, it's just a Jacksonville team that is really doing a nice job up front. The line of scrimmage being dominated by Jacksonville, getting those huge holes up there. Hagen Ray, Josue Guyton, Alexis at center, doing a nice job. Blake Causey, DeAndre Dials. I mean, boy, those guys are really moving the front line of Pine Tree and giving the running backs some nice holes.
So now Matt Cates back to work for the Pirates. He's got 2 receivers on his left. This snap gets away from Cates, and he's just got to retreat and fall on it.
That's a bad snap there. That was not Cates' fault there. Came down low, hit him in the ankles. Huge loss as Pine Tree continues to struggle offensively. They just, they have their moments running the ball with Jalen Robinson, and they've connected with the big guy Jonathan Fuller short, but Jacksonville's done a nice job keeping the lawn ball at bay, which is something Jason Holman was concerned about coming in the game because Fuller's such a big time deep ball receiver for Pine Tree.
So now Cates has 2 receivers on his left, 1 on his right, 1 back. Robinson with him. Cates drops back, looks to throw over the middle. Knocked away, almost intercepted.
Trent Powell.
Trent Powell would love to have that one back.
Oh, nice job playing center field back there at safety, Trent Powell. Powell's about 5'6", about 150 pounds. He's not a big guy back there, but boy, he stepped up, and boy, he almost got that pick right there.
And so Third and long.
His dad, Coach Powell's loving it over here. He's wanting him to catch it. But a nice play by Trent. Like I said, he hadn't practiced much this week. He's been sick.
So 3rd and a mile here for Pine Tree. So we'll see if Jacksonville's defense pins their ears back and comes after Cates. They do. Just has to dump it off to Robinson. Jacksonville just got to make a tackle. And
nice.
They do, so that'll bring up 4th and long.
Boy, that's a way to string that out if you're Jacksonville right there. They had the screen set up. And, you don't go north and south on a screen like that. What you do is you try to fan out and fill the lane so that there's nowhere to go. And Jacksonville just did a nice job fanning out and waiting and being patient, and they make the tackle. So Pine Tree goes 3 and out here on their opening drive of the second half. Look out.
So low.
Oh.
Snap, the kick is away. You hear the poison call. That Jacksonville just needs to get away from it and let Pine Tree down it, and they will.
Carson Shoemaker and Coda Kennedy, their eyes got really big right there when that ball was dropped, and Jason Holman's talking to him about it right now. He's saying, hey, go in and block that thing. Don't let him get it off. You got a chance. The ball's on the ground. He picks it up. You're right there. And they ran into each other. They kind of cleaned each other out there, did Coda and Carson. Nevertheless, Jacksonville gets their second possession in pretty good field position to start this drive. They scored on their opening drive. And the Jaden Boyd, I think it was a 6-yard run or was a 7-yard run, one of those. He's got 2 scores tonight out of that beast package.
Jacksonville back to work. 6:32 to go here, 3rd quarter. The handoff this time is to Kennedy, and he will do his best Jaden Boyd impression and move the pile a little bit.
Yeah, Llewellyn's just a wiggle worm.
Yeah, he is.
He just wiggles through there, and it's hard to get a good hit on him. He'll check out.
Yeah, but he had one of those. It was kind of one of those weight room runs too. That's what I mean when I say he was channeling a little bit of Jaden Boyd there.
Yeah. Well, Boyd.
He was dragging people.
Yeah. Speaking of Boyd, he checks in to the backfield, and Pine Tree's defense, their eyes get big.
The handoff is to Boyd, and he finds a big hole to midfield with a huge cut. You called it, Matt. Another big Bill McCray Ford first down.
Well, first of all, they're running away from the big fella, and then just the cut right there and the vision of Jaden Boyd going right off the block of Dakota Whitley for Jacksonville. Did a nice block. I mean, just really nice cut right there by Boyd. Kentrell Ferguson also doing the job for Jacksonville on that offensive line.
So now Boyd gets the handoff again as he tries to stretch the play to the left, and not as much doing that time.
Yes, come on now. What's this here? This is Boyd.
Yeah, it looks like Boyd.
He went down really awkwardly.
Yeah, he'll stay down and get a little bit of attention. So we're going to step away for a short break, and we'll be back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
Dr. Folden, Dr. Westbrook, Dr. Stocks, and their dental team at All Smiles provide a wide range of dental services. This includes cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, and cosmetic dental care. Call and schedule your appointment at 903-586-0741.
Bill McCray Ford has been serving East Texans since 1976. They can help you find the best deal on a used car or if you're ready to purchase something new. Open Monday through Saturday, Bill McCray Ford. Come see us.
Congratulations is Jacksonville's source for a full line of awards and engraving services. But we don't stop there. You'll want to check out our examples of creative personalized gifts too. Congratulations also serves East Texas as a promotional products dealer. We are passionate about sourcing just the right items. With our laser capabilities, we can also design and install acrylic signage or graphics. Want to see samples of our work? Go no further than the Tomato Bowl entry. We're especially proud of the arrowheads. Visit Congratulations Showroom or website soon, and let's make something amazing together.
Since 1953, Huber Glass Oil has been serving East Texans the finest automotive fuels and lubricants. Huber Glass Oil Company, the clear...
There we go. And we're back as Jaden Boyd, the injured Indian, Matt, looked like maybe a knee.
Well, he had the ACL 2 years ago as a freshman on the first play of the game of the season. So here's Jacksonville offensively.
This time McCown, and then they'll run to the right with Kennedy. Flags fly. And I guess Jacksonville just trying to get a little bit of advantage against the big guy Evans over there. Maybe that might have been a hold on in that area. That's the call.
Yeah, right now Jaden Boyd's just, he's upset. He went through that rehab, and he's also a great baseball player. He's been on the varsity since he was a freshman, and he's just a great athlete. So we'll check on that as the penalty gets marked off. It's a big one. Looks like a hold on Jacksonville.
Yeah, that was the call, Matt. It was a hold.
Yep. So it'll stay second down. And they're checking that left knee of Jaden Boyd.
So now, 2nd and long, McCowan sets to throw on the out route. Looking for Jermaine Taylor, but incomplete.
Yeah, just kind of bounced it.
Kind of trapped that.
Well, he had pressure in his face, and just to get rid of the ball, Ryan had to short arm it. Not a lot of people are like Patrick Mahomes where they can just kind of flick it, and it goes 30 yards on a line. Ryan did a nice job just getting the ball away, but it did bounce, so it's 3rd down. A long way to go, 3rd and 18.
So we'll see what the Fighting Indians have in the playbook for 3rd and long. They look to continue the drive and hopefully add some more momentum. This time it's a screen to Devin and the inside screen, and he has a first down and a whole lot more. Touchdown, Devin McEwen.
59 yards to Devin McEwen. What is the flag for? These guys are throwing flags every time Jacksonville scores. Nevertheless, it's a score from 59. A little inside screen. And, boy, McEwen looked like he was down here in about the 40 of Pine Tree, and he broke out of that little mixmaster, and he was G-O-N-E, buddy, for the score. You see it on the replay?
We'll see, get a good look at the replay there, but now we'll see what the official has to say.
It's a touchdown for Jacksonville, and the flag came way after that, deep in the end zone. So I'm not sure what is taunting, or somebody was following Devin and said something to a player for Pine Tree. I don't know. But those are the things you can't do. But look at it this way. You got to score out of it. This is a position Jacksonville hasn't been. I'm trying to listen.
It appears to be
It is a score.
Yeah, it was an unsportsmanlike conduct against Jacksonville. I didn't catch the player, but I guess somebody might have said something.
It was celebratory, and I think it was personal, so that's why they call it a personal foul, just taunting a little bit, celebrating.
So the extra point brought to you by Neighbors Coffee is up and good. So with 4:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter, our score now, Jacksonville 31, Pine Tree 7. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-Sports.com.
Gene Brumlow, class of 66, and his daughter Ann Farmer proudly support Jacksonville athletics. Come on over to the South Jackson Dairy Queen and get one of their world-famous blizzards. Dairy Queen, where happy tastes good.
Tonight's game statistics are sponsored by Randy Gorham, CPA. Randy Gorham, CPA, the source for your accounting and income tax needs since 1984. Since 2004, Legends Old Time Burger Cafe has been the home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburgers. Hand-battered chicken strips, chicken fried steak, fries, and onion rings are the best around. Legends, home of Jacksonville's best old-fashioned hamburger.
And we're back with 4:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Jacksonville opening things up, leading Pine Tree by a score of 31-7 with another Fighting Indian scoring drive summary. Here's Todd Travis. Todd?
It was a 5-play drive, covered 67 yards, finishing with a touchdown, putting the Indians up 31-7.
Yeah, it's kind of shaky there for a moment. They had it was 3rd down and 18.
Yeah, not bad for a 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, not bad at all, 59. So there's the kickoff.
Kickoff this time, short to the near side, fielded cleanly at about the 25, and now Jacksonville again needing to make a tackle. There's a big hit.
Oh, man, who is that?
At the 45.
I think that's Caden Franklin. That's a WWE body slam. Who is that? Yeah, it was Caden. Wow. He just picked him up and slammed him on his back. Jaden Boyd's sitting on the bench now with a ice pack on his left knee, being consoled by the trainers. He's just, when you go through an ACL, you have surgery, you have rehab. It's pretty upsetting when, you hurt your knee again. So we'll see how bad that is, and we'll check on him. So here's Pine Tree, first down by 24.
Matt Cates goes back to work. He's got 2 receivers on his left, 1 on his right in the shotgun. And he will look to throw. He's going to fling it out deep over the middle.
Caught.
He's got his man. What a catch.
Not bad coverage by Cash Bearden. He was right there. It was just a great throw, and the receiver, Fuller, just stepped right in front of it. And like I said, Cash Bearden he did everything he was supposed to do, just wasn't able to knock the ball away. So Pine Tree gets a first down to the Jacksonville 11, as they are not going away with 3:31 here and counting in this third quarter. So that's the first really big play for Pine Tree with Fuller, and it comes with 3 minutes to go in this third quarter.
They'll send 3 receivers out to the left. And Robinson is the back, and he's going to get the handoff straight ahead, maybe a yard or 2.
Man, I love the way that sophomore linebacker for Jacksonville, Michael Miles, tackles.
Yeah, we've called his name quite a bit over the last 2 ball games, as he is really rounding into form as a sophomore.
You want a guy at linebacker that when he gets his hands on you, you're going to go down. You don't want somebody that just comes in, puts a shoulder and bounces and tries to knock you down with his shoulder. He wraps up, pulls down, and makes the tackle. Gain of 2, though. Second down at the Jacksonville 9 for Pine Tree.
2:35 and counting here, third quarter. Pine Tree threatening. Handoff is to Robinson. Stretch play left side goes nowhere.
Dominique Bowens for Jacksonville. Like I said earlier, I did not think Dominique was going to be able to play. If you'd have seen him hurt his ankle at practice on Tuesday, he was out with an ice pack, but it wasn't a turn or a twist or a high ankle sprain. It was a contusion, and it was just a matter of can he play with pain. Well, it looks like he's doing a good job of that. So nice tackle there by Dominique.
We'll go down under 2 minutes here in the third quarter by the time Pine Tree snaps the ball on this next play. 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Robinson the back. And Cates flings this one high into the end zone, but just drifting out of bounds and incomplete.
He made the catch, but he was way out of bounds. That's a nice job by Cates, the sophomore, throwing it to the only guy that can make the catch is your guy. That's what you want to do. You don't want to float it up there and risk the interception when you're here in the red zone with an opportunity to, get on the board here again for the first time since the first quarter. You're down 31-7. Pine Tree, obviously, they've got to have this score to get back in this ball game, clearly. And it's fourth down, and they got to get to the Jacksonville 1, and they're at the 11.
Yeah, so Jacksonville looking to buckle down, get a big stop here, see if they can get some pressure on Matt Cates as he fires into the end zone. 1-on-1 over there, knocked away, incomplete.
Yeah.
There
got a flag.
a flag
at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
it's not in the secondary. It looks like it's going to go on Pine Tree, I think. It looked like Jacksonville's Zadarius Hinton got hit after the ball was knocked away, and that is the call right there. Jacksonville gets the stop.
Yeah, so a huge stop for the Jacksonville defense that, Matt, you've got to say, has really had a night.
I'm telling you, Coach Gandy, the defensive coordinator, Bradley Gandy for Jacksonville, is he's seen his defense just seem to improve the last 2 weeks to a point where, hey, man, it's hard to move the ball on them. They are really wrecking things between the tackles. The secondary, as I said in pregame, said they've got to play better. Well, guess what? They've done that tonight. They have improved. They've done a nice job. Cash Bearden's knocked several away. Trent Powell almost had the pick.
Obviously, Devin with the pick 6.
John Johnson almost had a pick. They played pretty well. So here's Jacksonville first down at their own 25.
So McCowan hands off, and McEwen makes his way out to the 32.
As the announcer calls him Devin McQueen. Don't understand that pronunciation, but must not be a lot of McEwens in the Longview area.
So 1:15 and counting here, third quarter.
I was talking about the PA announcer said that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I did hear that. Wasn't quite sure what he said. So McCowan with a handoff to Kennedy, and he will burst out to the 41. Big Bill McCray Ford, first down.
Well, I got to say, I'm not saying that I'm not impressed by the A&M commit Dalen Evans, but Jacksonville's offensive line, they're handing his lunch to him. I mean, and they're making him like it. I mean, they are really doing a nice job on Evans, the Jacksonville offensive line. I mean, Kennedy is just popping through there, and he's getting to that second level before they put a hand on him. That is a credit to your offensive line.
Absolutely. So 30 seconds and counting here, maybe a few more plays in this third quarter. Jacksonville can continue this march. The handoff is to Kennedy, and not much there as he is snarled up the line.
Well, it was a high snap to Ryan, and when you have a high snap, and that's the first one tonight for Alexis, he's done a heck of a job snapping the ball this season for Jacksonville, and just a little high, and it throws off your your handoff relationship. And that's going to end the third quarter with Jacksonville up 31-7 there, and a nice lead here going into the fourth.
So as they switch ends for this final quarter, we'll take a short break and come back for more. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-Sports.com.
Community is not just a place. It's not just people who live nearby or the name on a city limit sign. No, community is pride. It's support. It's showing up when you're needed without being asked. Community is knowing that you're not alone. It's sharing burdens and successes. Community is beautiful, and community is strong. We've been a community bank for over 100 years, and we've never been more proud to be a part of this community. Austin Bank.
Welcome back to Pirates Stadium in Longview. Aaron Swink, Todd Travis, Ryan Travis, and Matt Montgomery here with you on JHS-Sports.com as the Fighting Indians look to build on a 31-7 lead. And this stretch handoff goes nowhere.
Yeah, play by Devin Washington, the senior, wrapping up Jewalen, who's having to carry the load right now. As, you know, that's one thing about Jacksonville. I mean, they're thin. I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, it isn't like they're like, 48, 50 players where they can sub people. And you lose a guy like Jaden Boyd, and we're not sure the extent of the injury, but, when he's out of the game, you can tell. It makes a difference because he's not coming in at running back. He's not playing linebacker.
So third down and 15 now. McCowan going to look to throw as he's got all kinds of time, but he throws into triple coverage, but he overthrew everybody.
He's looking for Jermaine Taylor right there, and Taylor, when the ball was thrown and coming down, he just kind of gave up on a little bit. I guess he was trying to play defense more, seeing that he wasn't able to get to it. It goes incomplete, and so Skylar Whitaker will come in to punt the football as we start this fourth quarter with 11-12 remaining in the ball game. Jacksonville, a 24-point lead. Yeah, it's been a while since Jacksonville has had a lead like this. And you don't want to take your foot off the pedal here. You start district next week. You want to finish strong.
Flag comes in as right after the ball is snapped, so potentially motion against Jacksonville, maybe the way they were
Jacksonville
starting the play.
had somebody in motion right there, and I think maybe they started going up the field Canadian Football League style. And let's see the call here. Pine Tree may decline it. It's illegal formation on Jacksonville. That means they didn't have enough men on the line of scrimmage there. Got to have 7 on the line. So Pine Tree's going to, looks like they'll decline the penalty and not make Jacksonville punt again.
Yeah, they end up with fairly good field position, ball sitting at their own 31, so there is the potential that if you let Skylar Whitaker punt again, he gets a really good one.
Yeah. Thad Hoffpower checks into the secondary for Jacksonville.
So Matt Cates back to work. And he rolls right, looks. He wants to throw deep. He's got it, man.
Oh, man.
And
There's
a flag comes in.
That's an easy call right there. Yeah, it's Trent Powell was beat on the play.
Yeah, he was beat, and he just.
Hey, it's a good penalty. I mean, you don't like to see Trent get beat like that, but that's a good penalty. You take that penalty, that's better than a score.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that'll be marked from the line of scrimmage, automatic first down, but I'll take that right there with a football at the 46 of Pine Tree rather than 7 points on the board. So a good or a bad good play by Trent Powell. How about that?
I've got good news and bad news.
Good news and how do you want it? Which one do you want first?
That's right. 2 receivers right, 1 left this time for Cates as he's going to look to throw. Jacksonville going to be tested again, and this time a big catch and a huge gain down deep into Jacksonville territory.
Well, I was so complimentary of the Jacksonville secondary, maybe too soon. Yeah, Pine Tree just said, you know what? We're just going to throw deep and see if you can cover us. And Jacksonville has not been able to do that the last 2 plays. They just ran right by them. First and goal, Pine Tree at the Jacksonville 4.
So we'll see if Cates looks to hand this off and see if the Pirates can punch it in. There's the handoff. And the run down to about the 2.
Nice tackle there by Franklin. And
Lavarian Hunter with the carry. According to the PA announcer, I do think Hunter's one of those that's not on our roster, man.
Yeah, I don't see him. Sure don't. They got that updated roster that we didn't get. Second and goal, Pine Tree at the Jacks 2.
Now Cates, hands off, straight ahead, touchdown, Pine Tree.
I don't know, that cat right there, I'd be giving him the ball. Did you see him explode from the 2? That's the guy that carried 3 Jacksonville players earlier down the field. I don't know why they're not handing him the ball. Wow. That's Jordan Taylor with the score from 2 for Pine Tree, 31-13. Here's the extra point to try to cut the lead to 17.
Extra point attempts are brought to you by our friends at Neighbors Coffee in downtown Jacksonville. This one up and good. Reminder, if you need a little kick, visit Neighbors Coffee with 9:49 to go here in regulation. The score now, Jacksonville 31, Pine Tree 14. We'll take a short break and come back. You're listening to Fighting Indian Football on JHS-Sports.com.
As ETMC joins the UT Health family, we're bringing a new vision of healthcare to East Texas, where the brightest minds in academics and medicine work together to treat the most complex health challenges and improve lives, where access to world-class medicine and cutting-edge technology will bring health, hope, and a brighter tomorrow. We are UT Health East Texas, advancing healthcare together.
When life throws you a curveball, give it to the guy who can knock it out of the park.
A high drive to right, sending Ludwig back. It's gone! Micah Hoffpower.
Call Micah Hoffpower at Texas Farm Bureau for all of your life, auto, and home insurance needs.
And we're back, 9:49 to go in regulation here at Pirates Stadium. The score now, Jacksonville 31 and Pine Tree 14. As Pine Tree not going away, Matt.
There's the onside. Who's going to get it? There we go.
Yeah, the flag comes in as that did not go 10 yards.
No,
Eagle eyes of Ryan Travis up here spotting that one.
Jacksonville has really been working a lot. I mean, they practiced the last 30, 40 minutes. They work on special teams, punt team, punt return, kickoff, kick return. I mean, they work religiously on it. And they're getting better. Still got some things to work on. So, first down, Jacksonville. Hey, what big shout out to my former pastor, Darren Wood, out in Midland, listening, watching, streaming the ball game. Hello, Darren. Glad you're tuning into our stream. Enjoying this Jacksonville lead. Let's see if Jacksonville can cap this thing off. We got Jermaine Taylor checking in the backfield at running back now, giving Joellen a break.
First look at Taylor. In the backfield, he gets a handoff, makes a couple of moves, but he is swarmed under by a whole crew of Pirates.
Yeah, just a little hesitation there by Jermaine. And, of course, he mainly plays wide receiver. I mean, Jermaine is he's just one of those guys you can put anywhere on the field. He's just a football player. And, when you come into that running back position, the first play, you got to get your feet wet. He kind of was a little hesitant right there. And, as you say, as they say, he who hesitates, he who hesitates loses a couple yards. 2nd and 12.
We'll go into the 9-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. See if Jacksonville can add another score. This time, though, the handoff.
Oh, wow.
To Taylor, not much there.
I don't know. Jermaine with the carry right there, and he's a little gimpy getting up, but again, here comes Joellen. Again, you got this lead right here. You lost. Oh,
flag came in for
they got a
face mask against Pine Tree.
And I think that's what shook up Jermaine Taylor. He's kind of rolling his neck right now and kind of twisting his head. His jersey was up over his shoulder pad, and I think that's what caused the injury. Was somebody reached up and just twisted that face mask. So it's an automatic first down for Jacksonville. Taylor, he's okay. He's just kind of rolling that neck around a little bit. So Kennedy checks back in for Jacksonville at running back. You got Coda, Devin split out wide right.
We'll see where the Indians choose to go here.
Ryan checking that play clock because there's not one in the other. Yeah, there it is.
3 seconds. Yeah, he's got one there as well. He's
watch out! Don't
going
block.
To keep himself is McCown, and he'll slide down after a few.
Yeah, that clock's over here on this side. I see it now. But, man, I was thinking Devin was about to get a block in the back, and I can't believe they didn't call that. There was contact, but maybe they felt like Devin kind of got off of it before they shoved him, and Ryan gets up the field for a decent gain to make it 3rd down 7 now. Pushes the football to the 29-yard line. Yeah, 28. Yeah, that's the 28 of Pine Tree.
So we'll go down under 8 minutes here.
Yeah, it's 2nd down 7.
Yeah, 2nd and 7. Now man in motion.
Nothing.
Gets the little pitch. Nothing there.
Yeah, they're hip to that. As soon as they see Devin coming in motion and coming that way, all those defensive linemen squat, stay home, hold their block, and they just jump on him. So that's the 3rd time in a row now that play's been stymied after it was very successful in the first half. So now it's 3rd down and about 8 for Jacksonville. Clock continues to roll here. It's 7:28 and counting in the ball game. Jacksonville content just to milk this clock here. Sure, you'd like to get some points out of this, but the most important thing is to salt this thing away and get the win.
Yeah, Jacksonville looking for the first win under head coach Jason Holman. And here's Ryan McCowan deep into the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah, Ryan threw that ball in the deep corner, and Coda cut the route off and kind of went toward the goalpost. And it went over both players' head as Coda will check out. Jermaine will check in at receiver. Well, babe.
So that'll bring up
So fourth
and
down.
8. Yep.
Yep, 4th and 8. Jacksonville has to get to the 21 of Pine Tree to get a first down. So you got Devin, Jermaine split right, Jalen in the backfield. Oh, Josh, what is going on? That's another procedure penalty on Jermaine. That's his 4th jump off the line of scrimmage. Watch, 3 words.
Watch the ball.
Watch the ball. Jason McClendon stepping out and having a few words with his junior Division I prospect, Jermaine Taylor. Clean that up.
So now McCowan, load up, climbing the pocket, still looking, still directing traffic, and he'll just go down under pressure.
And you're going to have a hold on Jacksonville anyway. So, I mean, this is what you don't want right here. I mean, you had it. I mean, salt this thing away. They scored. They got a little momentum. There's still plenty of time left for Pine Tree. They're only down 17. That's 3 scores. So Pine Tree is going to decline the penalty and take the football as McCown does a nice job right there, just not throwing into coverage and getting the pick. Although a pick might not have been a bad idea if they caught it at like the 2 or the 3 yard line. You tackle them. So Pine Tree football now at their own 37. 6:57 remaining. Can the Jacksonville secondary, who I think is about to get tested, get ready? Devin's back there now.
Yeah, we'll see if Matt Cates challenges McEwen, who, of course, had the pick 6 in the first half. He will load up Will Cates.
Yeah,
And
nobody.
just nobody home.
Yeah, Devin was all over that one. And Trent Powell not fooled either. Dakota Kennedy coming off the edge. He was so close to getting to Cates, and then one of those offensive linemen peeled back and knocked Dakota off of him so he could get the throwaway. Incomplete 2nd and 10 stops the clock. 6:49. Jacksonville band doing the right thing right here, cranking it up as Pine Tree's on this end of the field.
They'll have 2 receivers on the right side of the formation, 1 split out wide left. Handoff.
Taylor.
Straight ahead, right side A gap. Not a whole lot going.
Uh-oh, now Jacksonville's got somebody else is rolled up. Man.
Yeah,
we're dropping like flies out here. Come on now.
We'll see. He's looking like he wants to pop up, but
Yeah, he may have just got the wind knocked out of him then. Good.
Yeah, may take a second here.
Not sure who that is. Is that Trent Powell?
Wasn't able to spot the number.
I think it is Trent. I don't see him in the defense. As
yeah, that is Trent.
Yep.
Ryan Travis.
Yep. Thad Hoffmeyer
spotting.
checking in for him. So get ready, Thad. I'm telling you, get ready. They are going to throw at you. The coaching staff up in the booth.
Yeah. Trent being helped to his feet. Powell, and he's
shaking it off a little bit there. Yeah, he's limping just some.
Yeah, he's under his own power, as you can see, so may very well see him back.
All right, so Pine Tree now, 3rd down, 9 to go. You got one-on-one coverage here with Cash Bearden on the big fella Fuller of Pine Tree.
You got to think Cates might be looking that way. They bring a man in motion from the right to the left. The handoff, though, goes the other way. Just a counter and first down yardage out of that.
I mean, that's that Taylor kid again, isn't it? Is it 16? I mean,
well,
can y'all spot it?
Yes. So,
man, I mean, but they're not calling him Taylor, but we're calling him Taylor because he's on the roster there. So,
yeah, depending on who you.
They're walking it back, Aaron. There's a penalty.
Yeah, there's
a flag on the play. That's a tough break for Pine Tree. Maybe that's why that play worked so well, because there was a hold. That's been Pine Tree's best looking play tonight, is that little counter tray. Pull the guard out and Lee gets behind him and goes. So it's going to be 3rd down
We hear the Fighting Indian Band trying to crank it up. Cates loading up. Deep ball over the middle. Incomplete.
I got a flag here.
Yeah, maybe some contact.
No, it's up on the line of scrimmage.
See where they threw it?
Yeah, they threw it on the line of scrimmage. It was good coverage downfield. Yeah, John Johnson on the coverage. Nice job.
Yeah, procedure against the Pirates.
Then why didn't the play stop? I mean, when you have procedure, I mean, why didn't they blow the whistle? Dead. Unless the rule changed and I'm behind several years, which is probably a really good possibility. So Pine Tree will punt now. It's going to be Aaron Bocanegra who will come in. Devin will drop deep back for Jacksonville.
See if Jacksonville can punch in another score.
Oh my goodness. You see that? Pick it up.
Yeah.
It hit somebody in the back.
Yeah, it did.
That was the lowest punt I've ever seen. I think it was like 3 feet off the ground.
Line drive.
That was strange.
So Jacksonville with fantastic field position.
Oh, wow.
The Pirate 29.
Man, oh, man. I mean, he had plenty of time. That's the second time that Bocanegra has hit one of those one-irons, and it just, didn't even get up over the top of the head of the lineman. Wow. So Jermaine will come back into the backfield from his wide receiver position for Jacksonville. Coda will check in at the other wideout where Jermaine was. And the Indians have great field position at the 29 of Pine Tree.
So McCowan right back to work and right back to Jermaine Taylor, who will fight ahead for a few.
One thing about Jermaine, he's not going to go down quietly. He still didn't hit the ground. Keep the clock running.
Jermaine from the Dylan Thomas School of Football refuses to go gently into that good night.
Good reference.
As Reed Kerr would say, sometimes you just make the jokes for yourself.
That sounds like a Reed Kerr comment.
Of course, Reed Kerr, our former play-by-play man and good friend, also former play-by-play man for these Pine Tree Pirates.
He sure was, yeah.
Two receivers right, one left. McCowan going to tuck and run, and boy,
guess what happened
needed
there?
to get down because he was going to take a big hit.
Jermaine went the wrong way.
Yeah, he sure did.
I mean, Ryan stood there and put the ball out like, where is he? Where is he? He's not here. He ran the other way. And so Ryan took off. He had a flag on the play anyway. This is starting to get nasty and ugly. Man, you just want to finish strong and go in with some momentum. Athens comes to town next week, and I haven't checked my historical records of games played, but it's been a long time since Jacksonville played Athens. I think it's back 20 years back to the Randy Copeland days.
Yeah, I think you're right, Matt. That's the last I remember. So now McCowan takes a snap, hands it off to Taylor. He's got lots of room to run. Check that, Kennedy. He's inside the 20, and he picks up another Bill McCray Ford first down.
I mean, it's the fourth game of the year, and when Joellen gets the football, I already know instantly who that is when he carries the ball. He just has that little jukey shake type running. He reminds me of a guy that used to play for Jacksonville named Rashidi Whitaker. He's so shifty, the way that he kind of dips and moves.
Yeah, Rashidi Whitaker was the first Jacksonville running back that I remember being enamored with. I mean, he was
a player.
He was the guy.
And Joellen runs like him. He's got that little juke. First down, Jacksonville. Oh, no.
High snap.
Look out. Look out.
And Pine Tree has the ball. Jacksonville just got to make a stop now.
Oh, I think he got a face mask, too. Ball just popped up in the air off Ryan McCown's hands and came right down to a Pine Tree Pirate. And I didn't get the number. It's number 8, Devin Washington, I believe. And, man, he was a hard guy to bring down. Man, this is a pretty big turn of events here. With 3:54 remaining, you're up 17. This thing's not totally in the bag now. I mean, you get a couple of deep balls here and then run on you. So, where's Devin? Is Devin back there on defense?
Yeah, of course, he's got the pick 6 earlier in the ball game, and you would think, as you said, Matt, that Matt Cates would try to pick on the secondary here.
This is a huge turnaround. Jacksonville had a 1st and 10 at the Pine Tree 19-yard line. Now, after the bad snap, fumble, run, face mask, that ball's at midfield. Timeout.
That shows you just how quickly field can flip. Hey, Matt, do you have a trivia question this week?
I do have a trivia question. The only problem is I may not be able to remember it all. I think it's long. I know the answer, but if Ryan Travis can pull that up on the screen, which I don't have in front of me.
I can do that.
And you can read it.
Your trivia question this week is, since 1913, Jacksonville has played 107 different opponents. Where does Pine Tree rank among the number of meetings? And you gave us some answer choices as well.
Yep.
A, bottom 50, B, top 50, C, top 20, and D, top 10.
All right, there you go. We're looking for the number of times. Has Pine Tree been an opponent of all Jacksonville's 107 opponents since 1913? Are they top 10, bottom 50? Where are they? We'll get to that in a minute.
Pirates go back to work as Cates hands off.
Guy.
Yeah, there was just a
man,
2-car pileup back there.
Yeah, Anthony Castro, the junior right guard for Pine Tree, he got shoved in the backfield. Not sure which Jacksonville player shoved him back there, but whatever it was, he tripped up his running back, Jordan Taylor, flipped him down. Big loss. 4 yards, 2nd 14.
.320 and counting. Here, Cates throws to the sideline. That one off the hands of the receiver and almost intercepted by Jacksonville.
It hit the receiver in the worst place it could hit him, right in the hands. I mean, he just boink. Declan Johnson, the junior for Pine Tree. It was a good throw by Cates, and he was looking up the field. They had the screen set up, the wide receiver screen, and he just didn't look the ball in. Stops the clock with 3:12 remaining in the ball game. 3rd down now, 14 for Pine Tree. Jacksonville band with doing their job, getting some noise here on this end of the field where Pine Tree is.
So big 3rd down and 14 here. Jacksonville going to try to get some pressure on Cates. He gets away from one. Now has time to load up and throw deep. He's got his man, and they've got 6. Touchdown, Pirates.
How in the world does that happen? I spoke too soon about the secondary. They got problems back there.
Well, and
the quarterback was scrambling, and he just threw up a prayer.
Yeah,
if he does that, you should be able to go get that
they
ball.
should have had Cates dead to rights for a sack, you would have thought.
Yeah. Well, Carson Shoemaker had the blitz on from his linebacker position, and he had him, and he just took a bad angle. And when he did, gave him time. So there's Jonathan Fuller with the score on the deep ball. Man, this is a ball game, y'all. This is only a 10-point lead now.
3 minutes to go.
Well, if he makes the extra point.
Yeah, this extra point brought to you by Neighbors Coffee. The snap is good. The hold is good. The kick on the way and good. So now with 3:01 left in regulation, only a 10-point ball game. Tribe 31, Pirates 21. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Jacksonville Fighting Indian Football on JHS-sports.com.
150 years. A lot happens to a town in that amount of time. And that's reason to celebrate. Join us Saturday, October 22nd, and invite your friends, family, and neighbors to come home, come downtown, and come together to celebrate Jacksonville's 150th birthday.
For the past 40 years, Swink Studio of Dance in Jacksonville has provided instruction in classical.
And we're back live at Pirates Stadium in Longview. 3:01 to go here in regulation. Jacksonville now only leading Pine Tree by 10. And, Matt, the Tribe's got to be ready for the onside kick here.
It's coming. Get ready.
So the hands team is out. There's the onside kick. And it goes out of bounds.
Didn't go 10.
So Jacksonville.
Well, maybe it went 10 and went out of bounds, though.
Yeah. So Jacksonville will take over. And now you're feeling like, Matt, you almost have to have points here.
Well, I mean,
or
just you can just run the clock.
You've got to get some first downs.
You got to get a couple of first downs to salt it away, but I'm just not feeling good the way Jacksonville's in. I mean, golly, we've won 2 games in 3 years now, and we're coming away with a win. I don't want to feel good. I want it to feel like a win-win. I don't want to just back into it here. Let's finish this off strong is what I'm trying to say.
So Jacksonville back to work with the ball just over the 50 in Pirate territory.
Yep, take care of the ball.
Keep the clock
Easy,
running.
Fella. What are you doing? That's a penalty. Throw the flag. There you
go. There it is.
Thank you, ref. That's got to be on Pine Tree right there. Blake Causey was on the ground, and one of the Pine Tree Pirates just jumped on his back and was just wringing his neck. Just pulling on his helmet, and Causey's helmet actually came off. And the official, thank goodness, the side judge came in and saw it and throws the flag. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Pine Tree. Good call, officials. Speaking of officials, guys, I've been noticing that there's been a lot of games that have had to be moved to Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
Because they don't have enough officials.
Yeah,
so those guys are working on Wednesday and Thursday, and then they're working a game on Friday.
Yeah, and of course that happened with the Alto game last weekend being moved to Saturday.
And they're also, some of them are having to work with 4-man crews. That's tough. So Jacksonville will get the benefit of the penalty right there. They'll move this football up a long way up to the 25 of Pine Tree. Those are the kind of plays where you look at it and you go, yep, that's why we're 0-3 and about to be 0-4. You make, not a wise play right there by Pine Tree to give Jacksonville the ball at the 25 first down.
So the Indians just need to capitalize here. Go ahead and punch this thing in. Take a real positive feel into district play next week. Handoff is to Kennedy, and he will dart up the middle inside the 20 down to about the 18.
Yeah, and I like the way that Ryan McCown watched that play clock and took the snap at 4 seconds, just milking it down. As Kennedy had both arms wrapped around that football. He's a senior, and he knows what he needs to do. So timeout.
So there's the timeout. So, Matt, revisiting your trivia question.
Yes. So
since 1913, Jacksonville's played 107 different opponents. Is that what?
That's the question.
That's what you said?
Yeah,
so
where does Pine Tree rank in the number of times they played them? In the top 50, top 20, bottom 50, top 10? Where do they rank?
My gut reaction to this.
Remember, they were 6A for several years.
They were. And because of that, I think I want to put them in the bottom 50. Guys?
Anybody else?
Anybody? Bueller?
I'm thinking top 50 for sure.
Top 50, Todd Travis.
We got one or two choices here.
Okay, so do I not have top 10 there? Oh, I gave it
away.
Top
10's there.
Yep. Number 9.
How about that?
Yes. Wow. This is the 36th meeting. Jacksonville's up 21-14 on the wins, trying to make it 22 here.
This time the handoff to Kennedy. As he tried to stretch this play, he gets his legs cut out from under him and
I tell you,
spun down.
I like what Joellen did right there. He was going toward the sideline. He realized it, so they said, nope, not going out of bounds to stop the clock. I'm going to make them burn this timeout, and that's exactly what Pine Tree has to do.
Hey, Matt, Grace Traylor knows her stuff. She just texted in group text to you and me both, and she knew.
She did?
She knew it was the top 10.
We also had Rodney Anderson say top 10 in the YouTube chat.
All right, so Rodney, way to go. And Grace.
Got a nice text here from Jacksonville former head coach, retired, Wayne Coleman. He said this is a typical coach's comment, unbalanced line was a really good plan. Thanks, Coach Coleman. Watching the game, liking that. I got to be honest, I'm not the most observant dog in the world. Coach Coleman got me there. I didn't even notice we were playing with that. So, oh, man. Shows my astute observation there. So 3rd down and 2. Was that Pine Tree's last time out, or they have one left? I can't see on the scoreboard. I can't tell.
The scoreboard says they have none.
Yeah, I think that was the third one.
If we've learned anything tonight, it's that the scoreboard could be wrong.
Yes.
Handoff is straight ahead to Kennedy.
Yeah, he's going to be right at that first down
let's
marker.
see where they spot him.
Yeah. He's going to be a little short. So this will be an interesting call for Jason Holman right here, as the ball's going to be about it's about 6 or 7 inches short of the first down. Fourth down.
If Jaden Boyd were 100%.
If Jaden Boyd, if DeVarian Boyd, who's out tonight with an injury, didn't play, he should be back next week. I mean, he's also part of that beast package. So Jason Holman is going to do the smart thing here. He's talking to the official. He's going to let the play clock's at 7-6. He's going to burn a timeout here and just run the game clock down. He'll take a timeout here with 1 second left. There you go.
So we'll step away for the short break with him and come back. This is Fighting Indian Football on JHS-Sports.com.
As ETMC joins the UT Health family, we're bringing a new vision of healthcare to East Texas, where the brightest minds in academics and medicine work together to treat the most complex health challenges and improve lives, where access to world-class medicine and cutting-edge technology will bring health, hope, and a brighter tomorrow. We are UT Health East Texas, advancing healthcare together.
Dr. Darwin Dar and his staff at Dar Chiropractic specialize in family chiropractic care, exercise rehab, digital x-rays, nutrition and weight loss programs, decompression, and chiropractic wellness care. Located down the street from the Tomato Bowl, Dar Chiropractic. They can help you feel better.
And we're back at Pirates Stadium in Longview. 1:25 to go in regulation. Jacksonville looking to close out the first win of the head coach Jason Holman era.
Going forward here on 4th down and try to salt this thing away. Oh, Jacksonville crowd up on this one.
First down would do it, you think. Hand off.
He got it.
Straight ahead.
First down.
And there's the Bill McCray Ford first down that should just about do it.
Joellen with the power run on that left side of the Jacksonville offensive line. Dials getting it done over there with Kentrell Ferguson for the Bill McCray Ford first down. Hey, a little credit now on that top 10. Number of times they play. Jacksonville and Pine Tree, who got the answer. Of course, Grace Traylor got it. Lee Traylor texted in. He got it. And so did Mayor Randy Gorham. So they got it right. You guys, y'all were awful. Y'all weren't even close.
Better luck next week.
So, yeah, better luck next week. We'll come up with something else. Stump the band.
There you go.
So timeout Jacksonville as they run that play clock down inside 5, and Jason Holman takes the timeout. So Jacksonville's going to come away with their first win of the year, as Athens will come to town next week. Fans, stay with us. We'll have our All Smiles post-game interview with head coach Jason Holman, get his comments on this probable Jacksonville win right here, unless the wheels just, I don't want to talk about that. We'll also be announcing our Austin Bank offensive and defensive players of the game. The Dar Chiropractic Bone Crusher hit of the game. I already know what that one is.
Oh, yeah.
And the congratulations play of the game. I already know what that one is.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got a good idea on that one, too.
Yeah, we want to thank Dark Chiropractic and congratulations and Austin Bank for sponsoring all these awards. We'll get to those post-game, along with the statistics sponsored by Randy Gorham CPA. So Jacksonville now with their victory formation in. Devin back there is the safety valve. Ryan McCown. It's been a long time, guys, since Jacksonville's been able to do this. Well, since Hallsville last year. This is fun.
That's right, Devin getting the crowd going as McCowan takes the knee.
So they don't have to snap it here. The official, yep, there you go. Well, let's see, 37. I think the play clock and the game clock are right on top of each other.
And
man, they should have waited just a second. You just needed to wait 1 second before you started the game clock. They'll snap it again.
We'll have one more snap, one more knee from
go.
McCowan, and that will do it.
All right.
So Jacksonville picks up their first win of the 2022 season and the first win for head coach Jason Holman. And the Jacksonville sideline and the stands are loving it.
I mean, it's just it feels good. I mean, the crowd that came over to watch the game, a pretty decent crowd, making the drive over to Longview, applauding the team. Boy, the Charmers going crazy up there with the band. Great support, and there's the Jacksonville fight song as teams now shaking hands. And yeah, I mean, a win is a win. I mean, you think a couple little things there toward the end that you want to clean up. That's okay. But just get the win. Jason Holman said that, I think, early in the year at the Kaufman scrimmage. Just get the win. And that's what Jacksonville did tonight. Their first win in 2022. Great way to end the non-district slate, as the Athens Hornets will be rolling in, buzzing in, if you will, to Tomato Bowl next week for the first district. I'm trying to get used to it. Is it 9-4A Division I?
Yep, there you go.
There you go. I didn't know if it's District 7 or – I'm trying to get used to that. So District 9-4A Division I. So Jaden Boyd on his crutches out there. All the Pine Tree players showing some pretty good respect, coming over, shaking his hand. As Jacksonville will have a nice ride home from Longview celebrating this win. Jason Holman's first as head coach of Jacksonville. He'll get his team around to talk, and then we'll get the All Smiles post-game interview. Guys, let's before we go to some stats, let's talk about some awards here.
Yeah, there's quite a few to hand out and lots to choose from tonight.
You hear the Jacksonville team going over to salute the crowd. Very happy, very excited. All right, the Bone Crusher hit of the game, sponsored by Dar Chiropractic. If your body needs an adjustment, call Dr. Darwin Dar. JHS class of 1984, Dr. Dar is your hometown chiropractor. Guys, no question to me, the Bone Crusher hit of the game was Caden Franklin's sack of Cates, the Pine Tree quarterback. I mean, he absolutely smothered him and just turned his helmet around, So the Bone Crusher hit of the game goes to the senior defensive tackle, Caden Franklin. The Dark Chiropractic Bone Crusher hit of the game. That's easy for me to say. Okay, the Austin Bank offensive and defensive players of the game, guys. Tough call there, hard to decide. But to me, let's start with the defensive side of the ball. The defensive player of the game to me for Jacksonville, Carson Shoemaker, played a heck of a game from his linebacker position. He was everywhere. Nice job, Carson Shoemaker. Austin Bank is your community bank, locally owned and operated since 1900. Now the offensive player of the game, that one's pretty easy too to me. Jaden Boyd. Unfortunately wasn't able to finish the game. We'll check on that knee injury and see how serious it is. But Jaden Boyd, the Austin Bank offensive player of the game, 2 crushing touchdowns. And Aaron, it wasn't just those 2 touchdown runs. He had some other carries in the middle of the field that were just devastating.
He did. There were a few even of stretch plays where he got around the edge and he put on a cut that was, for his size, to see some of the cuts he put on the field was amazing.
I mean, not just cuts. I mean, he cut on a dime. I mean, he planted that foot, and he completely changed directions. And, you know, to move 240 pounds that quickly, that's tough to do. So congratulations to Jaden Boyd, the junior linebacker, running back, Austin Bank Offensive Player of the Game. Now, the congratulations play of the game. I don't know. You tell me. I'm going to see if what I picked is what you picked.
It's the pick six.
It's the pick six.
That's what you got to pick.
Yes. Devin McEwen's pick six completely changed the momentum of the ball game. With, I think it was 42 yards on the step, just jumping the route, then getting down the sidelines. A couple of guys had angles on him. He outran them for the score. So Devin McEwen gets the congratulations play of the game. Hey, congratulations. They not only provide a weekly award, Devin, it'll be his second one this year, to each player for the play of the game. But just look at the Tomato Bowl. Look at some of the work they've done around Tomato Bowl. It's all over the stadium. Congratulations is your Hometown Awards Engraving Store. So, great night here at Pine Tree. Great job by Jacksonville. They get the win. Let's get head coach Jason Holman over to get his comments on this win. All right, they're getting ready to get some pictures done here. They got Deshaun McEwen, the TCU football player, graduated a few years ago. Jason's looking for me. He's trying to find me. Coach Holman.
He's the guy in the cowboy hat, Coach.
Well, Coach, congratulations. First win as the head coach of Jacksonville. And, man, I tell you what, you guys just came out. That first drive to start the second half, you said you got what you wanted on that coin flip, and you did.
We did. That's what we did last week. We actually had the opportunity to defer. And they wanted the toss, they took the football, but we wanted to kick off to start the game. You know, sometimes you become creature of habit. I wanted to just reiterate, we're doing the same thing we did last week, and let's build on it.
Coach, you ran the ball so well. I mean, you had that 1-2 combination with Jaden and Joellen before Jaden got hurt. I mean, your offensive line got the job done. I mean, the Evans kid, he was not a factor tonight for them, the A&M commit. I mean, your offensive line also did a fantastic job, just getting some holes open for those guys.
That group that you just mentioned, the offensive line, is probably, without a doubt, the most improved group that I've seen to this point. Very proud of them. They've really come together. They love each other, and they're fighting for each other, and that's why we're having the success we had running the ball.
Coach, tackling. I mean, between the tackles, they just struggled. They had a couple of good running backs. They didn't have many breakaway runs. I mean, I thought your linebackers, the second level, did a nice job, but, Caden Franklin and, gosh, I didn't think Dominique was even going to play. Yeah. And, boy, he did a good job as well. Carson was our defensive player of the game. He did a nice job as well. I mean, your defense just keeps getting better and better.
Well, you got to know what your brother's doing to your left and your right in order to be a successful defender. And it's taken a while to figure that out. But it's starting to come together, and the more confidence we get, the better we can play and the faster we can play. And I think that's why you're seeing that happen that way.
Of course, we're worried about Jaden. Hopefully he's going to be okay. Any word on that?
Well, not yet. We're going to try to get him in the Saturday clinic tomorrow and find out. I'm going to tell you what, Jaden's been an outstanding leader for us, and we're really hoping for the best for him.
Yeah. Coach, Athens rolls in next week, district opener. Could not have had a win that come at a better time, than tonight when you got your district opener next week at home at Tomato Bowl. Against Athens.
We talked about it. You were there, in fact. That's exactly what we wanted to do. Get that momentum on our side, show ourselves what we can do. Still looking, to finish a game out.
Yeah.
A little bit of lapse there towards the end, just kind of relaxing, but very proud of them. Excited to go into district play.
It has to be satisfying to you because I know there's been some struggles this year. Anytime you're installing your program, there's a lot of things that have to be changed. Not necessarily that it was bad in the past, but there were some struggles. But to finally get this right here happen has got to feel good.
Well, it really does. And, yes, when you come in, it's all different. And it doesn't matter really what went on before you. Yeah. Things are different. Kids are asked to do things a little different way. And, they just got to buy in. And once they do, you'll see the benefit of it. And that's I think we're on the right track for that.
Coach, appreciate it. We'll talk to you this week.
Great. Thank you, Matt.
Head coach Jason Holman on the All Smiles post-game interview as Jacksonville celebrates the 31-21 win here in Longview at Pine Tree Stadium. Guys, it feels good to get a win, and it's going to be a nice drive home.
Yeah,
back to y'all.
Absolutely, Matt. The Fighting Indians get it done. 31-21 the final. Hey, Todd, let's go inside the numbers of this 10-point victory, Jacksonville's first of the Jason Holman era. Post-game stats brought to you by Randy Gorham, CPA. Get Todd's mic turned up. There you go.
All right, Aaron. Tonight we finished 56 plays on offense for 378 yards with 213 yards passing and 165 yards rushing. So another pretty balanced night for the offense. Individual stats, McCowan finished with 8 completions on 17 attempts for 213 yards and 1 touchdown. Receiving, Jermaine Taylor, 4 catches for 95 yards. Devin McEwen, 2 catches for 76 and 1 touchdown. And Ryan Walker had 2 catches for 42 yards. Rushing tonight, Jaquaylin Kennedy, 19 carries for 97 yards. Jaden Boyd, 7 carries for 45 and 2 touchdowns. Ryan McCowan, 4 carries for 12. Devin McEwen, 3 carries for 10. And Jermaine Taylor had 2 carries for -1.
Yeah, and of course, Jermaine having to come in and take over after Jaden went out with that injury, and we do hope that he gets a good report tomorrow. But I'll tell you what, Jaquaylin Kennedy, Ryan Travis, the guy that in the last 2 weeks, he has really come on with 82 yards, I think it was last week. And I believe, Todd, did you say 97 tonight? 97 tonight.
Almost got that 100.
For Jaquaylin. So, Ryan, you got to be encouraged by Jacksonville's ability to run the ball the last few weeks and control the ball game.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you didn't get to ride over us, but we did talk a little bit about Jaquaylin Kennedy on the way over here. And it's been fun to watch him improve every week because he is improving every week, and he's running the ball hard. And it's what Jacksonville has really needed in terms of a ground game is a good hard runner that's kind of shifty and is able to find the hole and pick up the yards.
Yeah, and just to see him and really a lot of these guys and a lot of these units just grow in confidence each week. You heard Coach Holman talk about the offensive line, especially just as the most improved unit he's seen. And obviously when you look at Jaquaylin picking up 97 yards and all the other rushing success, that points back to that group as well. So really encouraging to see so many guys just improve just markedly every week. I mean, really, especially given the last 2 weeks. Now, the White House game was kind of the outlier. But you look really at certainly the last 2 weeks, and you just see a step up in I was going to say quality. It's not necessarily quality, but I think just in confidence and in sort of a cohesiveness, Ryan, of the unit. You heard Coach Holman talk about how important it is to know what's going on your right and what's going on your left in a new system, and you can't help but notice the last 2 weeks that just seems to be clicking just a little bit more every time out for the Tribe.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's good to see you mentioned the O-line, and it's good to see those guys giving Ryan McCowan and Jaquaylin Kennedy both more time to make a decision. And I know we talked about it a little bit last week about Ryan McCowan, but he's just able to stand in the pocket back there and find some time and confidence and just able to make the pass and the completion whenever he needs to now.
You can see he's got all the tools. He's got the arm. He's certainly got the football IQ, and when you add to that the time that's afforded him by an improving offensive line, I mean, obviously you're seeing the fruits of that for Jacksonville the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's also helping the offense protect the ball better. We ended up having 1 turnover tonight off the bad snap that kind of went over Ryan's head. But I mean, that's a huge improvement for the Tribe this week. We've seen turnovers kind of go the opposite direction for the way it went for us tonight, and being able to protect the football on offense was huge tonight in this win.
Yeah, and obviously going into district play next week, Jacksonville will want to continue to improve, clean up some of those things that sort of snuck in toward the end of the ball game, but Overall tonight, a great night for the Jacksonville Fighting Indians as they do pick up their first win of 2022, the first win for head coach Jason Holman as they top the Pirates of Pine Tree by a score of 31-21. Again, we want to thank Randy Gorham, CPA, for sponsoring our post-game statistics. Randy has been your hometown accountant in Jacksonville since 1984. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and streaming along with us on jhs-sports.com this week. For Todd Travis, our producer Ryan Travis, and Matt Montgomery, this is Aaron Swink saying thanks for tuning in to Fighting Indian Football on jhs-sports.com. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Celebrate the win. We'll see you at Tomato Bowl next